All right, I think we're live. I'm just going to confirm real quick because we've had that problem before. It says live. Okay, that's my face. We're live. All right. Bengals Raiders. 3-5. That's annoying. Boy, is that annoying. The Raiders are 2-6. That's got to be more annoying, right? Like, they don't. We have Joe Burrow. They don't have Joe Burrow. That's better, right? Okay. Um, So Mikey predicts that what's going on, everybody. By the way, Mikey predicts that the Raiders are going to win 21-17, which is a fair thing to say. As you can see, I don't think they're going to because I take my opinion with a grain of salt right now, right? Because I predicted the Bengals to win most of their games so far, and they're 3-5. I think I did have them losing to the Chiefs, maybe the Ravens. I can't remember. I don't think so. Probably not. But it feels like something's going on right now, and I can't articulate it. I'm normally a very analytical guy, and I can't really articulate exactly what I'm feeling right now. But it feels like there's something about to happen. I don't know if that means the Bengals are about to, start just rattling off a bunch of wins. If it means that they're going to make some. So there's been talk that the Bengals are potentially going to make a trade before tomorrow's deadline, which could be fairly unprecedented and when the Bengals do unprecedented things, that tends to result in really good things. And then we all get pissed off later, like, why is this not more precedented? Why don't you do it more often? And then they continue not doing it later on. But in the moment, when they do these unprecedented things, it tends to work out well for them. So if they make a trade and they bring in a really good defensive player, I've heard talk about Azeez Ojulari. There's also, hopefully we can get a defensive back end to help with the pass coverage. That's really, in my opinion, the biggest source of issue is the pass rush needs work, but the pass rush would have more success, I feel, if you had better coverage and you didn't have guys like Cam Taylor-Britt and DJ Turner getting burned constantly, because there's no help when it comes to the safeties, because the safeties have just been god-awful this year. And then I think that's the thing with the defensive line. They have to worry so much about running quarterbacks getting loose, and they also have to worry about them getting the ball off quickly, that it makes it very difficult to try to rush the passer, because the defensive line, Trey Hendrickson, is about the only one you can really rely on in this damn defense. So that's the big issue. So if they can bring in another, like in my opinion, like a top tier DB via trade, if that's a real story that really might happen, then I think that could actually end up really good for the Bengals' ultimate chances to maybe get something out of this season. I mean, here's the thing. If they make the playoffs at this rate, I've said it before, if they make the playoffs at this rate, they're going to be the hottest team in the NFL. I'm not saying they're going to make it. Let's be clear. I'm just saying if they do make it, watch out, because that means that they've just suddenly rattled off all these wins and they finally figured something out. Whether that happens today or not, I don't know. If it doesn't, though, if they do lose to the Raiders, then I think it's about time to start talking about the season might be over. If we lose to the Raiders, I said on Twitter before the Eagles game, that if we lose to the Eagles, that's gonna suck. But 3-5, you can come back from that. It's good that they've gotten some wins going on. But what losing to the Eagles does do is it makes you feel like damn, can we beat anybody good? Because our 3 wins so far this year are against the bum ass Browns, the bum ass Giants, in a period where the Giants were so banged up that they were even worse than they normally are. And then who was the other team we beat? Why can't I remember the other team we beat? That should be pretty easy, right? About 10 minutes before the game starts, by the way. Let's see. We beat the Panthers. Yes, the Panthers. Andy Dalton's Panthers. And Andy Dalton's given us fits in the past, but, now we're even with him, so I don't think anybody's too scared of Andy Dalton at this point. So yeah, Browns, Giants, Panthers. Like we haven't exactly beaten anybody worth talking about. If we beat the Raiders, that's not going to change anything. But if we lose to the Raiders, then I think we're starting to talk about maybe starting to pull the plug on the season. We're starting to talk about like, does anybody need to lose their job soon? We're starting to talk about draft positioning over any real hope of getting in the playoffs. You know, it's not dead yet, but I mean, if they lose this game, that could be it. But I mean, if they win this game, then they're 4-5. They play the Ravens next week, and the Ravens are a team that they came close to beating before. You know, if the defense steps up a little bit, just a little bit, they could do something, and that would be huge if they end up 5-5 after all this mess. But they beat the Raiders and the Ravens, and they're 5-5. Sky's the limit, right? Because after that, you got Chargers, you got the Steelers. Their offense has been better with Russell Wilson, to be fair. So we'll have to see what kind of happens there. But you know, I think you can beat the Steelers. Cowboys haven't really had it this year. Titans have been bad. Browns again have been bad. The Broncos have been competitive. So I mean, there's some games there where you're like, I wonder what's going to happen. But in theory, if they can get it together, it's all winnable games at this point, you know. But I mean, it's been all winnable games all year, and really the only game they've gotten blown out in is last week against the Eagles. Other than that, they've been competitive with all these good teams. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, if they lose today, then it's just if they lose today, it's tough. And then you got to go beat the Ravens next week because, I mean, if you win today and you're 4-5, then you go lose to the Ravens next week and you're 4-6, then we're right back here. We're right back here against the Chargers the following week, and it's like you got to win this one or it's over. I mean, and at some point you got to beat somebody good too. So hope the defense does something. I sure the fuck do too, Jeff. Now it's the Raiders. You know, that makes me feel a little bit better because, like, you know, the Bengals have beaten all the bad teams except for the Patriots. That was a weird week 1 anomaly thing, but you know, as far as the Raiders' schedule goes, let's see. They haven't really done a whole lot this year, and I mean, they don't really have a lot going on. They've been talking about trading Max Crosby. If that tells you how their season's been going, he's their best player. So let's see. The Raiders this year, their 2 wins have come against the Ravens, which is something, and then they barely beat the Browns, which that's also something. For the most part, this season they've scored 20, 15, 13, 18, man. 18, 20, 22, 26, and 10. So they haven't broken the 30-point mark all year. And for the most part, they're scoring in the single digits. You know, there's a 20, there's a 22, and a 23. But most of their games this year, they've scored in the single digits. So that hopefully the defense does something. But I mean, this almost kind of feels like a sacrificial lamb type of defense to do something against. You know, kind of like the Browns and the Giants both did. You know, so I mean, we'll see. Deontay Johnson's playing his first day in a Ravens uniform. I like that the Ravens got Deontay Johnson. And it's not because obviously I have any positive feelings about the Ravens, but it's because he used to play for the Steelers, and I like it when I like it when teams like flip the bird to the Steelers. That's always fun. What's up? It's a chili dog and cheese. Chili dog with cheese and spicy brown mustard kind of sundae. Chili dog and spicy brown mustard? I mean, I'm not saying that's not something people do. It just, to me, that doesn't sound like a good combination. It's unbelievable the team's winless at home. But much like others, I expect them to win this one. Go Bengals. Yeah. I think most people, other than Mikey, apparently, most people expect the Bengals to win this one. Doesn't mean they will. The Bengals were, I think the Bengals were favored against the Eagles. Like I was, according to the betting odds, if I recall correctly, I think they were favored against the Eagles, and that didn't work out at all. Dennis Allen's last game is today when we lose to Carolina. Maybe. It doesn't seem likely to me, but you know, you never know. If y'all end up 2-7, yeah, I mean that could be real hard to come back from. But it just is like, are the Saints actually going to do it? Is the question. Like, are they actually going to pull the trigger? Because they haven't. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, and they really should have over time. Like, and I don't really know what the Saints' character when it comes to like how they handle coaches that need to be fired, because like they had Sean Payton for so long, and I don't really remember what the Saints were like before Sean Payton. I mean, I remember they were bad, but I don't remember how they handled head coaches and stuff. So like, I just don't know. Are they like a normal NFL team where they'll fire guys if need be, or are they like the Bengals where they just hold on to guys forever and a fucking half? Like I can only think of one head coach the Bengals ever fired because of poor performance quickly, and it wasn't even quickly. It was Dave Shula in the early '90s, and it still took him a few years to get it to pull the trigger when the results were obviously terrible. Um, Bruce Coslett was the other '90s guy, and he quit. Like he was tired of the BS, and he quit. He didn't get fired. He quit. Um, and then I guess Dick LeBeau got fired, but I think part of why Dick LeBeau got fired, I mean, yeah, they went 2-14, and that's bad. But I think Dick LeBeau got fired because they really wanted Marvin Lewis, and Marvin Lewis was, like I think they had a shot to go get a guy like Marvin Lewis, and I think they took the opportunity and pulled the trigger. M. Beckera, 2010. What's up? I don't remember seeing your name in the chat. Welcome. I'm sure you're probably subscribed if you're here this early, but if you're not, feel free to subscribe. And either way, welcome to the channel, and most likely welcome back. I just don't remember seeing your name before. Raiders fan here, just trying to get the opposing team's point of view when playing our horrid Raiders. Well, I'll be honest. Mbekara. I not terribly. I don't know a whole lot about the Raiders. I know their offense hasn't been good, as you probably know. I looked a few minutes ago, and it's like most of your games you haven't even scored 20 points, and that's why I'm thinking like maybe our defense has a fucking chance, but our defense has been so bad. So it's like even in this game, I'm nervous that the Bengals might just blow it against the Raiders, which seem like I called them a sacrificial lamb type team earlier. It seems like that's what they should be for a Bengals team that should be competitive. They just haven't been, But yeah, we'll see. Sorry, Bengals still won't make the playoffs. I mean, probably not, Jim. But they could. They've got a decent schedule, Like they got pretty much all of their really tough games out of the way, and the only one that they actually fell flat on their faces on was against the Eagles. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. If they lose this week, though, I'm probably gonna agree with you. If they lose today, I'm probably going to agree with you, Jim, that they're probably not making the playoffs. But if they win, they're 4-5, and you can come back from that. So we'll see. Vikings 27-16 going to the game. Oh, wait, Vikings 27. Is that your prediction? I hope they win. I hope they win, Jim. Hope they win for your sake. What's going on, Lily? Who thinks the Bengals will win? Well, I do. I don't know how many people think the Bengals will win, but I do. But I'm not super confident in it because I've got them winning by 1 point and both teams scoring 20-something points. As actually 26 points is the most points the Raiders have scored all year. So knowing what I know about the Bengals defense, I'm going to guess that that's probably going to be what they're going to let up because they just it's been a bad year for the Bengals defense. Saints don't fire guys during the season, but hopefully it changes. He apologized for what? Yeah, that whole apology thing was BS. Now, the only thing I'll say about Saints firing guys during the season, I don't think that apology thing is going to impact the Saints ownership decision at all, because if it did, they would have already fired him. I think if I had to bet, Dennis Allen, probably part of the reason he apologized for that whole situation. If I had to bet, he probably got pushback from the owner about it. It just seems like such a weird thing for a head coach to do in that situation. I mean, I could be wrong, but it feels to me like that was not just a Dennis Allen thing. That feels to me like that was probably the whole Saints organization kind of coming together. Like the front office probably also wanting him to apologize. I could be wrong, but that's the way that situation feels to me. But if I was in charge, I would have fired him. You know. Bengals win because they're at home, but they will make the playoffs. But will they make the playoffs? No. Well, I mean, if they win today, if they lose today, I don't think they're making it. You know, that's just how I'm gonna go. If they lose today, I don't think they're gonna make it. But if they win today, then hope is alive. Like it's just a fact. Hope is alive. All they got to do is, I mean, what they're like, they're ninth in the AFC right now, and you just got to get to 7 to make the playoffs. So I mean, really, all you gotta do is keep up with the other teams that are in the playoff hunt. The Bengals are in the playoff hunt. So I mean, to get that last wild card spot, all you got to do is just keep up with the other teams in the AFC. And I mean, you got a team, you got like the Broncos are a team that you might be competing with. You still got to play them later. You got the Chargers coming up. I don't know if the Raiders will be competing for a playoff spot, but I mean, probably the Chargers won't either. But you know, I think they maybe have a better chance than not. Yeah, you got some opportunities to give yourself like some boost in the playoff race. I don't think the division is really on the table anymore at this point. So, although you might be competing with like the Steelers, yeah, I doubt the Ravens, but you'll probably be competing. You might be competing with the Steelers for a wild card spot. Now, with the season they've had, it could be possible that they are going to be more competitive for the 5th or 6th seed. But, you know, I mean, those are still opportunities to try to get a little ahead. You know, the Titans, and you're not going to be competing with the Titans for a playoff spot. The Browns almost certainly are done. But yeah, that Broncos game, that Chargers game, both of those games are critical. And the thing is, every game is really critical. They can probably lose, like, let's see, what are we, 3-5? So the Bengals can probably realistically afford to lose 2 more games this year. And then they're almost certainly not making the playoffs after that. But you know, so that makes every game pretty super crucial. But the really important games for the wild card race are the Chargers and the Broncos. And if you can win both of those games, and then you can, you know, find yourself like a couple more wins here and there, like beat the Raiders, beat the Chargers, beat the Broncos. And then you probably need about 4 more wins on top of that. So, Cowboys, Titans, Browns. That's 6. And then if you can take one of those games from the Steelers, maybe you can sweep the Steelers. I don't know. Or if you can surprise the Ravens, then that's 10-7. You know. So, yeah. I mean, like a few of those games should be pretty easy for the Bengals to win. This is one of them, though. So if we lose this one. But, you know, a couple of those other games should be pretty heavily favored Bengals games. And then it's just really about beat the Chargers, beat the Broncos. But you got to beat them both, too. Like, I mean, I guess you don't have to. That can be one of your losses, but you're putting yourself kind of behind the 8 ball. Because 10-7 does not guarantee you make the playoffs. 10-7, you know, you're probably going to make the playoffs, but, like, you know, you could have a really good AFC year, you know? So, thanks. Just subscribe. Really? So you showed up before the game even started, and you weren't subscribed. I mean, hell yeah, I love having you here. The kickoff is away, by the way. The Raiders are going to get the ball first, so that's what we're dealing with. But anyway, I appreciate you, you know, coming on the stream before the game even started. Like, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm happy to have you. Very happy to have you. The Aints suck. Enjoy your 6-win season. Honestly, Jim, at this rate, I don't know if they're going to get to 6 wins. All right, Gardner Minshew, the man, the myth, the legend, is coming out with the Raiders offense. Trey Hendrickson on the other side, about the only damn player I really give a shit about on the defense these days. I mean, I love Jermaine Pratt personally, but, you know, I mean, he just hasn't really been super great this year either. Got Jordan Battle blitzing over. I know that's Mike Hilton. Gardner Minshew rolls back. He throws it deep, and that's knocked down by Cam Taylor-Britt. Great job. That was maybe a little dangerous. I mean, you know, he's definitely using his hands a little bit more than at least on the broadcast I would want to see. But, you know, he got his hand up there. He went for the ball. And, okay, yeah, on replay, You can tell he's going for the ball, and any hand stuff he's doing is in relation to going for the ball. Great job for him to knock that ball down. And that's the thing, man. Like, Cam Taylor-Britt, I get tired of seeing him get burnt some of these situations, but, he is really talented, and that's why he's got the starting job. All right, Minshew's going to slightly fake the handoff. He's going to throw over to the right side to nobody, and there was nobody. He had no pressure in his face, but he just threw to the middle of the field, and I have no idea what the hell he was doing there. But, hey, you know what? You'll take it. It kind of reminds me of when we played Daniel Jones, and I'm like, thank God we're playing Daniel Jones. Take that. Enjoy your first round exit. I mean, that's what we've seen out of the Vikings all the time, right? Think the Vikings can make it to the NFC Championship game? I'll answer that in a second. 3rd and 10. Come on, defense. Come on, defense. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He's going to throw it up. And that is, whoa, that was attempted one-hand catch by, looks like there's going to be a flag. It's probably going to be pass interference on the Bengals. But attempted one-hand catch there by 89. Is that Brock Bowers? Yeah, pass interference on the Bengals. I kind of figured that would be annoying. Yeah, that was Brock Bowers. So he almost had that with one hand, but he was not able to come down with it. However, it was most likely due to pretty severe pass interference there by, I believe, DJ Ivey. So, not sure why DJ Ivey's covering a tight end like that, but yeah, that did not work out in the Bengals' favor at all. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Fake handoff from Gardner Minshew. He's going to throw it short to Brock Bowers, who cannot be stopped. Plows his way forward for a first down. They probably could have stopped him from a first down, but there's just no fucking tackling. All right, so is this the kind of day we're going to have today where the defense teases me a little bit, me thinking they're competent, and then they just suck balls? Is that what we're going to do today? Because that's what it feels like, man. This is... hopefully the offense can be good. The Vikings in the NFC Championship. I think they can. Yeah, I think they can. I probably put my money on first round exit because it's the fucking Vikings. Prove me wrong. But I think they totally can for sure. Gardner Minshew fakes the handoff, shotgun snap. He throws over the middle. He's got a wide fucking open. Jacoby Myers. There's like 3 guys in the area. None of them are actually like covering him. Man. That was DJ Turner's responsibility, and he just he was playing way too soft on that. Good God almighty. Vikings won't make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs, Mikey. I understand you're talking trash, but you got to go stream. All right, Mikey. Have fun on your stream, and I don't even know if I should wish your team good luck or anything, because I know you might want them to lose. I don't know. So that's going to be a handoff up the middle to, let's see, Alexander Madison. And he picks up about 8 yards because the Bengals have no desire to tackle anybody. Wonderful. I have not seen their schedule. I'll look it up later, like on a commercial break or something. At least my team didn't cheat to win the only Super Bowl they've ever been in. That's one way to look at it, Jim. I see you retracted that message, but Alexander Madison's going to get the handoff again, and he gets about 3 yards, but that's going to be enough for a first down. This defense, dude. This defense is going to be the death of me. I swear to God. Watching this and swishing to the Dolphins-Bills game. Honestly, the Dolphins-Bills game is probably a more interesting game to watch than this. Like, I'm watching it because I'm a Bengals fan, right? But, like, Bengals-Raiders, like, who's outside of Bengals and Raiders fans, who really gives a shit about Bengals-Raiders right now? and you guys, because you're here. But, Dolphins-Bills is probably more interesting than that. Alexander Madison's going to get the handoff again and gets like 6-7 yards because there's just no, like, it's like butter on the front line. Like, nobody's getting in the way, it feels like. Good God. This defense was playing fairly well until the ticky-tack flag got him. And it wasn't ticky-tack. He was all over him. That, like DJ Turner was, like, all over Brock Bowers. And the only reason he didn't catch that ball was because DJ Turner was all over him. Like, that was the correct call. That was the correct call. I hate to say it, but it was. Gardner Minshew, shotgun snap. He takes the hand, or he gives the handoff to number 3 there. Mike Hilton could have had a shot to get him in the backfield. Zamir White, by the way, is the running back. Mike Hilton could have had a chance to tackle him. Didn't. Missed him. But, the second level gets to him, so it's only about a yard or two. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Hi, John. What's going on, John? Cousins beat Cowboys once on primetime. Can he do it again? Probably. The Cowboys aren't very good this year. I would think the Falcons probably win that game, yeah. Lou gets so much screen time so far because he can't stop anybody. That's the problem. Gardner Minshew's in the shotgun formation. He's doing a lot of audibling. Hands the ball off to Alexander Madison, and God, nobody can fucking tackle him. Of course they can. And, they had him for, I think that they had him stopped on 3rd and 3, but, he just keeps his legs moving and he gets forward, and it's a first down. It's first down with 2 yards to go, so it's 1st and goal. Awful. Sorry, looks like the Raiders could score first. They're going to score first, Jim. They're probably going to get a touchdown because we can't stop them. We can't stop anybody. This defense is terrible. This defense is absolutely awful. I don't understand why the Bengals think. What time is the game for me? It's 10:07, 06, 05, 04, 03, 02 for syncing purposes. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap, hands the ball off. Alexander Madison, easy touchdown. Just bowls his way forward and nobody's going to stop him. I don't understand how this front office thinks that they can just neglect the defense the way they have. And remain a Super Bowl competitive team. As bad as the offensive line was at one time, they were able to overcome the offensive line with all the talent they have on offense. But when the defense is this bad, you can't overcome that consistently. God, we're getting shredded by the Raiders right now, man. Absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic is what it is. And I kind of feel for the defensive players because they're out there doing their jobs, but just the whole composition is broken at this point. Lou Anarumo needs to go, and I say that as somebody who's been very complimentary of Lou Anarumo. If he does go, we'll remember him, I think, as a pretty good defensive coordinator, not as I think what we have right now. But he came up with a system, and the NFL figured out that system, and he didn't adapt. That's the problem with Lou Anarumo. He hasn't adapted his system to A, the talent, and B, the way the NFL is moving. The Bengals are playing the same style of defense they played in 2021, but the NFL's evolved since 2021. Enough to invalidate what Lou Anarumo's doing. We gotta figure something else out because we're just trying the same old shit over and over again. And it hasn't been working consistently since 2021. 2022, it still worked pretty well, and we obviously got back to the AFC Championship. But we were struggling in 2023, and yeah, it was looking like they might turn things back around and maybe make the playoffs until Joe Burrow got hurt. But we were in a hole because of the system just being completely not working anymore. And this year, it's just it's been so obvious. I don't know. We'll see what the offense does. But the defense, I'm so tired of watching this defense just be completely unable to stop anybody. And I mean anybody. It seems like unless it's Daniel Jones. Unless it's Daniel Jones, it seems like if they go out there against literally anybody, then they're just going to get shredded over time. And not by these big, gigantic plays. They're doing a good job of stopping the big, huge gains. But you got to stop the small stuff, too, at some point. Because teams can and will matriculate the ball down the field in the NFL. These guys are highly conditioned. They're not going to get that damn tired from doing it all day. If anything, they'll get invigorated every time they get a touchdown. They'll be like, well, shit, we could do that again. At some point, you can't only prevent the big play. At some point, you've got to figure out how to stop the small plays. Because the small plays add up. I understand not getting shredded for big, huge plays, but, it doesn't matter if they can do whatever they want. If anything, that makes it more difficult for your offense because that takes so much time off the clock to have opposing offenses matriculate the ball down the field on every single drive. And then when they end in scores, the offense can only, at best, maybe they can keep up. They're not always going to. And if they have one or two bad drives, then it's impossible to recover from that because the defense can't stop anybody. It's absolutely awful. I already answered that question, Jeff. The D-line let Vegas run all over them. I'm ashamed of that opening drive. It's terrible. Burrow and company are going to have to pack a lunch to keep up. Yeah, they really are. The Raiders are actually... Oh, interesting. So, I guess they're saying Alexander Madison did not get a touchdown there. So it's going to be second and from like the half-yard line. And then the Bengals like jumped off sides on second down. So it's going to be from like the quarter-yard line. And it's second down. So like I'm not this isn't necessarily a good thing. Like, this is just more example. Like there's going to be even a few more seconds trickled off the clock here. You know, and when you only give your offense so many opportunities to go out there because you're making opposing teams go down the field so slowly, it's really hard to like take back control of a game. There it is. Almost completely like nobody even got in Zamir White's way on that run. Like he just found a wide open hole and nobody was there at all to try to stop him. So all right, now the Raiders are on top. Dude, if we lose this fucking game, if we lose this game, if we lose this game, I'm done with the season. First of all, like there's no coming back. If we lose this game, it's over. And then maybe you start thinking about moving on from Zach Taylor and Lou Anarumo because both of them their system's broken. It'd be unfortunate if you couldn't retain Dan Pitcher because he's been pretty solid as a quarterbacks coach and then moving forward as a offensive coordinator. He's been all right. Dan Pitcher's been all right. You probably can't retain him, and I don't know if Dan Pitcher needs to be the head coach. But it would be unfortunate because you're moving on from him too. But at this point, like if we lose this game, maybe it's time to move on from Zach and Lou like already. I'm not saying to do that just yet. But I mean, this season's basically over if you lose to the Raiders. So, but look, it's the first quarter. We got 9:36 left in the game, we got 9:36 left in the first quarter. So I'm not gonna panic too hard because who knows what's gonna happen. But man, that defense is just uninspiring. That defense makes me feel like there's just no hope. Like it almost doesn't even matter if the offense goes out there and gets a touchdown. If the defense does that shit again, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. Joe has to be perfect. He does, Jeff, because if they don't go get a touchdown on this drive, then that's a missed opportunity, and it's like the defense isn't going to stop them unless they get a crazy ass turnover, which they could. But it really does feel like with 9:36 left in the first quarter that we're already at the point where like Joe Burrow's got to be perfect to have a chance at this one. It's so deflating. It's just so deflating, Noon daylight savings time started last night. It sure did. Gave me an extra hour of sleep, and boy, did I need that extra hour of sleep. That really helped out. All right, from the pistol formation. It's not pistol. It's like shotgun, but there's a running back behind him. Now it's pure shotgun because he's audibled. And he might be even audibling some more. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, it's 1st and 10. Joe Burrow's out in shotgun formation. He takes the snap. That's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown, who, nice run there. Picks up about 4 yards. Might have gotten 5, but he probably got 4. By the way, that's something I didn't talk about inactives. So we don't have T. Higgins today. Shocker. Like, fucking T. Higgins never fucking plays anymore, so... but, in addition to T. Higgins, we don't have Zach Moss. They're talking about he could potentially go on IR. And we don't have Orlando Brown Jr. So, and Jermaine Burton is also inactive. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with him. But it's like the offense it's going to be harder on the offense than it needs to be, really. Although Chase Brown, he takes the handoff to the left there, and he dives forward. He only gets about, like, 4, maybe 5 yards there. But, it's still a good run, and it's going to set up 3rd and 1. So, hey, that works out. That works out. If the running game is going to be good today, then run the damn ball. You know. Now, why the fuck is Jermaine Burton inactive again? I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with Jermaine Burton. Like, is he legitimately not ready to play? And if so, why the fuck haven't you gotten him ready to play? Third round pick, has all this potential. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. He throws. He's got Mike Gesicki on first. That was 1st and 10, I guess. So I guess they did give him a first down on the run. Mike Gesicki pick up about 4 yards over the middle there. So the Bengals are looking like they're planning on just matriculating the ball down the field because these are all short plays. Oh, boy. I mean, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But it's this is going to be a long game if both sides of the ball are doing this all day. All right, pistol formation for Joe Burrow. And he's going to fake the handoff to Chase Brown that time. Rolls back, throws it to Chase Brown. He's got a first down and gets a little bit of a head of steam. Picks up about 7 yards after the first down, and that's a pretty good play right there. That's a pretty good play right there. So it's going to be first down for the Bengals on the Raiders side of the field. And, yeah, all right. Offense is looking pretty good so far. That's good. Still pissed at the defense, but offense is looking pretty good so far. If we had to fire all the coaches at the end of the season to get rid of Lou, would you? Well, I'll answer that in a second here, Jeff. Joe Burrow in the half shotgun. It's not really full pistol. It's half shotgun formation, really. Chase Brown gets ahead of steam, gets past the first level, cannot get past the second level, but that's still about a 9-yard pickup. So, he's doing a good job running the ball. If we had to fire all the coaches at the end of the season to get rid of Lou, would you? I mean, okay, like frankly, yes, because I just talked about this, but I mean, if the Bengals lose this game, if the Bengals miss the playoffs, I think you got to fire Zach, and then you're unfortunately losing Dan Pitcher too, but you get rid of Lou, of course. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap, fakes the handoff. He's got a guy in his face, but he gets the ball off. There you go, to Chase Brown. So in the face of pressure, he keeps his cool, gets the ball to Chase Brown, and that's going to be another Bengals first down. So yeah, if the Bengals miss the playoffs, then I think we got to start talking about are we going to move on from Zach Taylor? And I would say we have to seriously consider that as an option. And Lou as well, yes, but I think Lou and Zach are a package deal. If the Bengals get this shit turned around, then you keep Lou and Zach, But if they don't, then you get rid of Lou and Zach. I think they're a package deal. You take one with the other or neither of them. That's just the way it's going to be, I think. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. He's going to throw it short to Jamar Chase, who gets a stiff arm out there and manages to push forward a little bit for an extra 3 yards after he picked up about 2. And so that's probably going to be about, according to my math, it's like 5. I don't know where they're going to spot the ball. But yeah. If you gotta fire all the coaches of the season, get rid of Lou, would you? And it's like if you gotta fire Lou, then you gotta fire everybody probably. So the answer is yes, Jeff. But just because I don't think you can get rid of Lou without getting rid of everybody else, frankly. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Chase Brown, and he does not get anything there. So that run did not. The Bengals' running game has been pretty good today, but that did not get much of anything. I guess they're giving him 2 yards, which is better than I thought, but that's still not great. How am I? How am I? I'm doing pretty good in my personal life. My personal life is going pretty well. But right now, I'm here as a Bengals fan, and as a Bengals fan, I am not doing well at all. No touchdown? Yeah, not at first, but then they got it. 3-0 Bills, Titans 7-0, but who cares? Both teams suck. It's true. They both suck. Joe looks pissed. I'm pissed too. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap, rolls back. He's got, I almost said Mason Shrek, but that's Drew Sample. He picked up about 2 yards. Can't really break through the Raiders' defenders. That was annoying and weird. It's 4th down now. I don't know why are you throwing to Drew Sample on a play like that, behind the sticks? Why are you throwing to Drew Sample? Because Drew Sample's not going to push through anybody. My guess is the Bengals are probably going to take a field goal here. But if I'm the Bengals, honestly, I'm going for it because you can't afford to get down at all right now. And it looks like the Bengals got the same idea here from the 20-yard line. It's like if the defense can step up, then great. But if not, then you need to go for it here already. And they are. So Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. He's going to step up. He throws. There you go. There you go. He's got Tanner Hudson, who doesn't fumble the fucking ball. But they convert the fourth down conversion. So that worked out. I absolutely 100% agreed with the decision to go for it there. And I would have been willing to take the heat if it was wrong, because I don't trust the defense to stop the Raiders. And which is sad, because it's the fucking Raiders. But I don't trust the defense to stop them, so, what's a field goal going to do you right now? Let's see if the defense can actually get a stop, and then we'll settle for a field goal, Score says 6-0. Thank you. I will fix that. Joe Burrow hands the ball off to Chase Brown. He gets a little bit of a hole, not too much. Picks up about, maybe you could call that 3 yards. Maybe. Fox hyping up Burrow as 14-5 once November starts. Perhaps that'll come off as good karma today. I want to believe, but it's hard. It sure is, because it's not about Joe Burrow anymore, Jay. That's the thing that sucks. Joe Burrow is such a fucking talent, and I have hope that eventually the Bengals will turn it around, because having Joe Burrow as your quarterback means you're always going to have a chance. But the defense is so bad right now that the story isn't even about Joe Burrow. The story is about, can the defense get anything done to give Joe Burrow a chance to go win games? Because, Joe Burrow isn't perfect. No quarterback. You could have Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, whoever in their primes, and they wouldn't overcome this defense, because you can't just be perfect on every drive. Like, you just can't. Like, not every single time, Like, you're going to have misfires here and there. And the defense just lets opposing offenses absolutely punish them every time there's even the slightest hint of, Joe Burrow throws one interception, and it feels like the game's over, No NFL quarterback doesn't throw interceptions. There's never been a season where an NFL quarterback has thrown 0 interceptions if they played, all the games in the season. It's never happened. It's never going to happen. It's unrealistic to think that could happen. That's the thing. Like, if Joe Burrow makes one mistake, it feels like the game's over, and that's where we're at. That's why I'm pissed, And if we win this game, I'm going to be happy that we won the game. The way this game's going so far, if we do win this game, I'm not going to feel super confident about anything, but the defense just makes you think, like, can they really turn it around and have a November like, they've had in so many years past? With the defenses playing, it's just hard to believe, According to Fox, Burton's inactive status was listed as coach's decision. It sounds like he's in Zach's doghouse. I heard a rumor, and so far all I know is that it's a rumor, so I'm not going to say it's true or not, but I heard a rumor that Jermaine Burton just straight up didn't show up to a practice. He's just, not taking things seriously, and he didn't show up to practice, and etc. So I understand how you don't play the guy if he's just not taking anything seriously. If that is true, I understand how that's a thing. But at the same time, the reason Jermaine Burton wasn't a first-round pick is because of shit like this, So if this was really as big of a deal, then why did you draft him? You could have had so many other wide receivers who are making impacts in the NFL already as rookies, but you picked up a guy who you can't even trust to go play on the field. It was a really, I don't know. I don't like the way that's evolving at all. 2nd and goal. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. Good protection there by Amarius Mims. He's got Jamar Chase, who manages to stay on his feet enough to get down to the 1-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal, but from the 1-yard line. So that was a good route by Jamar Chase, just better coverage by the Raiders to make sure that he didn't get into the end zone there. But that could have been pretty good there. Could have turned out pretty good. But either way, it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. Chris Olave got paralyzed. What? Oh, you mean during the game? Okay. That's terrible. Terrible. Don't get me wrong. I thought you meant before when he got injured, he got paralyzed. I'm like, I didn't hear about that until now. Joe Burrow, he's going to run out to his right. He's going to throw to the back of the end zone. He's got Chase Brown, who finally got open. That took forever for that play to develop, but he got him, and he's in for the touchdown. Let's go. Joe Burrow gets the job done, and Chase Brown, the whole offense, give the whole offense credit, because like the offense doesn't deserve to be 3-5 right now. They haven't had a great game every week, but the offense does not deserve to be 3-5 right now. You know, the fact that we are is pathetic, but you know. Oh wow, Chase Brown's foot just barely was in bounds there, and it was. His foot was in bounds, but like by the slimmest of margins, to the point like, you know, if they were to like challenge that, I don't think there's enough evidence to overturn it. With how many replays they're doing here, I'm thinking they might actually challenge this, but that's a touchdown. And if it's not, you can't tell. Like, you really cannot tell. I mean, you look at that because it's ruled a touchdown on the field, right? And you got a crystal clear angle from the back here, and you just can't tell. So I guess they're not challenging it, and that's kind of what I'm saying. It looks like just by like, you know, like a fucking string, you know. Evan McPherson, extra points, good, but like a string, you know, you all know like quantum physics. Like a string they have a theory that the string is like the smallest possible like form of matter that exists in the entire universe, like smaller, like way smaller than an atom, smaller than neutrinos and quarks and whatever the fuck. And it looked like by that margin, Chase Brown's foot was in. And if it was technically out, you couldn't tell if you had a fucking quantum microscope. I think they were thinking about challenging it, and then they decided not to. I think that's probably what happened there. Did Chris Olave get paralyzed? Yeah, that sucks, dude. That's terrible. Is he paralyzed, or is he just knocked out? Because if he's paralyzed, I don't think to be fair, and I'm not saying he's not. I don't want to speculate too much medically, but I will say I don't think you'd be able to know that he's paralyzed this quickly. I mean, maybe he's like, you know, temporarily paralyzed. Maybe he got like knocked out, unconscious and everything. But I don't think you could possibly know that he's paralyzed right now. I'm really hoping not. I'm really hoping not. That sounds awful. Sounds absolutely awful. Buffalo chicken pizza in the oven, dude. I love that. I might like at the break. I've got some leftover buffalo chicken pizza in my fridge. Already getting kind of hungry, so at the break I might heat myself up some of that. That sounds delicious, Walt. By the way, welcome. I don't remember seeing you before, so welcome to the channel. If you're not new, I apologize for not recognizing you, but if you are new, feel free to subscribe. Chocolate and peanut butter brownie bites for dessert. That sounds pretty good. I'm not much of a dessert guy these days, but you know, it's not due to a lack of liking dessert. It's due to a lack of, you know, sugar plays such hell with my body that I just don't want to deal with it anymore. But that does sound delicious. I'm a little jealous of you, honestly. It does sound good, Jeff. Burrow needs to give tight end Bob Trumpy. You must be an old school Bengals fan, Walt. Bob Trumpy. That'd be fun. Is Bob Trumpy even still alive? I haven't heard. I think he is, because like, wasn't he ruler of the jungle or something like that? Bob Trumpy. Yes, he is still alive. He's only 79, so okay. Never mind then. But whew, that's a throwback there, Walt. I don't think I've ever heard a Bob Trumpy reference on this show before. I love it though. All right, Bengals kick the ball back to the Raiders, and that is going to be another touchback. Due to the defense's woes, this isn't the type of game in which Cincy can just take points on fourth down. I'm glad they didn't. Yep, that's the problem, Jay. And if the defense can get some stops, then you feel a little bit more comfortable about getting a field goal if you need to. But if the defense keeps playing like this all day, then it's four down territory. I would almost go as far as to say it's four down territory anywhere on the field, except maybe like deep in Raiders territory, right? But you got to get aggressive if the defense can't stop anybody. I'll get to that comment here in a second, because Gardner Minshew's in shotgun formation. He's going to hand the ball off, and there you go. Logan Wilson gets the stop, And I think Zamir White might have gotten a yard after that tackle, but that's it. So there you go. There you go. The defense actually doing something. That's nice to see. And I love Logan Wilson to death, but like, I mean, he hasn't been, just like everybody else, he hasn't been good enough this year either. So got to step it up. Got to get better. They should go for it on 4th down until we for sure have the win. I don't agree with that quite. I understand where your head's at. For me, I think you got, like, if the defense isn't getting stops, you got to go for it, because like, you just, what are you gonna fucking do? You know, because you're probably gonna get behind if you if you leave it in the hands of the defense. You know, but if the defense is getting stops, then no, I think you take the points. You know, like if the Bengals force the Raiders to punt on this drive, then I think the offense could probably, you know, get away with taking a field goal. You know, I mean, I want to see a touchdown. You really want to see a touchdown at that point, but you could probably justify a field goal, like settling for a field goal, if the defense gets a stop, because that was my whole argument there, was you got to go for it here, even though you're not really in favorable position, but you got to go for it here because you can't trust the defense, you know. But if the defense proves that they're competent, then I think at that point you can take the points, you know. But I mean, you know, that last play was good, but it just hasn't been, you know, got to be more consistent. So we'll see what they do, though. We'll see what they do. I think they could. I think they could do it. They got the talent, but that's what I've been saying all year. They've got the talent, but it doesn't seem like it matters half the time. I got an interesting break coming up this week from you know, you got because of like the election, and because we don't really have like fall break at UC, they're doing like fall reading days and stuff like that. And we got fall reading day on Tuesday, so I don't have class on Tuesday. And because at work they decided to put me in a training class on Wednesday for something or other. Like normally I have to work on Saturday, so usually they give me Wednesday off. But this week they're like, well, you have to be in on Wednesday, so they're giving me Tuesday off. And then I naturally don't work on Mondays because I have class all day. And then you know, one of our my morning class on Monday got canceled for this upcoming week. So I mean, I basically got a 4-day weekend here. I'll take it. I like it. 4-day weekend. Let's go. Except I do have one class I have to go to, but you know, it's in the afternoon and it'll be fine. Gardner Minshew is under center on 2nd and 9. He's going to hand the ball off, and that's a better run there by Zamir White, but isn't really able to take it. There was a hole there for him, but Joseph Asai brings him down, so works out okay. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 now, and the defense has the opportunity to get off the field here, man. Like, just don't let him get a damn first down. If you let him get a first down, then it's just got to start all this shit over again, you know? All right, come on, defense. Come on. Come on. We got that crowd going. Because the Bengals are at home. So we got that crowd going. Let's see if we can get the job done here. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He throws. And he's got Brock Bowers, and Jordan Battle just is not able to fucking stop that at all in any way, shape, or form. So it's going to be a first down Raiders. Good God. Good God. That right there is probably why Jordan Battle hasn't been playing as much as you'd like. Because a bunch of Bengals fans have been like, well, where's Jordan Battle? He was looking really good last year. And, you know, why we've been playing Geno Stone when he sucks. Well, that's why, because Jordan Battle apparently sucks now out of nowhere, too. I don't know what the hell happened to him. Anyway, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. The Raiders 42. And there's like a timeout. I think the Raiders took a timeout. Interesting. So I will say, from a neutral perspective, you got a pretty good game so far. You know, it's competitive. Both teams. I mean, there's only been, I think, 2 drives so far. But yeah, I'd say from a neutral standpoint, I'm guessing people are thinking this is a good game so far. But I also can't imagine too many people outside of Bengals, and I said this earlier, but I can't imagine too many people outside of Bengals and Raiders fans are all that interested in watching this game. Could be wrong, but I don't think I am. What we got going on the rest of the NFL right now? We got Cowboys are trailing the Falcons 7-3. Dolphins and Bills tied 3-3. Got the Chargers on top of the Browns 7-0. And I mean, I'm honestly at the point where like I don't ever like rooting for the Browns, but because the Chargers might be a team that we're competing for the number 7 seed, then maybe it'd be good for the Browns to win that game, you know? I don't know. But Chargers winning that game right now. Titans up 7-0 on the Patriots in a game that's probably even less interesting than Bengals Raiders from a neutral standpoint. Giants Commanders tied 7-7. It's a little surprising. Saints up 6-0 on the Panthers because it's the fucking Panthers. Ravens up 7-0 on the Broncos. So I'm not sure. I think I'd probably take either outcome in that game, right? Because like obviously I want the Ravens to lose, but are we really competing for the division anymore? I think the division's kind of like we're not really thinking about the division right now as far as making the playoffs go. So like fuck it. I'm not too worried about what the Ravens do at this point. I mean, we need to beat them, but not necessarily because we're trying to compete in the division. It's more so because, we just need to win pretty much all of our remaining games. We could probably lose 2, and if the Ravens are one of them, then so be it. But, got to win as much as we possibly can. But the Broncos are a team you might be competing for a wild card spot with. So maybe it'd be good for the Broncos to lose, and so I don't know. Looks like the Ravens are up 7-0, and they're knocking on the door for another score though. So probably, I would guess, pretty likely the Ravens are probably going to, probably going to win that game. Now it's the beginning of the second quarter, so we'll see. But they seem like they're handling that game pretty well. It's quarter 2. So we're going to come back out, and Gardner Minshew's in the shotgun formation. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw it short to number 84 there. And Akeem Davis-Gaither does a good job of tackling him once he gets to him. So that was a good job to not necessarily snuff that play out. They still got like 3 yards, but didn't have my roster up, so I didn't know who that tight end was. I can't even remember what the number was now off the top of my head. Looks like they got Brock Bowers, Justin Shorter, and Harrison Bryant are the tight ends, so it's probably one of those guys. Shotgun formation for Gardner Minshew, and that is going to be another. Oh no, that is going to be a handoff. They faked me out on the not fake. So he picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards. So it's probably going to be 3rd and 3. I'm guessing probably here, depending on where they spot it. But looks like Derrick Henry got in the end zone, so the Ravens. Oh no, that was their first score. Okay, so. Like I said, I mean, I'm not the type to want to root for AFC North teams, but right now the Browns and the Browns and the Ravens are both playing teams that we might be competing with for a wild card spot. So I might bite my tongue as I do it, but I might just take kind of whatever outcome we get there. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He throws it up, and oh yes, man! Jordan Battle knocks that ball away. It looked like Brock Bowers had it, but at the very last second, Jordan Battle rips that ball out, and Brock Bowers is not able to complete the process of a catch. And that right there is where, Jordan Battle, maybe, I don't know. You wonder is Jordan Battle playing badly because they didn't give him any opportunities this year until lately. That's the question, Yeah, Brock Bowers never really fully gets control of that ball, and that comes out. So it's 4th and 4, and the defense stops the Raiders. They're going to be punting now, and I'm a little surprised. But I'll take it. So that's going to be fair caught by Charlie. No, that's Trent Irwin at the 10-yard line. So that's a good kick by the Raiders. Good punt by the Raiders. So Joe Burrow has a chance to come out now and really put the Bengals in the driver's seat in this game. Like I said, because the Bengals got to stop. They forced the Raiders to punt. I think you can take seriously the idea of not having to go for it on every fucking fourth down. Maybe if you get in field goal range here, you take the field goal, right? But that was absolutely the right decision earlier, though, to go for it because, like, you're gonna give the Raiders unbelievable amounts of momentum if you just take the field goal there. Why was Olave in? I don't know. I don't really know the whole situation, Mikey. I do know he's been dealing with injury issues, so I was a little surprised that he was in because when you first said that, you're talking about him getting paralyzed. I was a little surprised because I'm like, I didn't even think he'd be playing. So I don't know what's up. Olave's not paralyzed, but he's in the hospital. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Hope he's okay. I do too, Jeff. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Olave has a concussion and is out versus Carolina. 2 concussions in 3 weeks. That's. I don't mean to be laughing or anything like that at the guy. It's just it's just like, God damn, how do you even respond to that? I hype your live streams up on YouTube so that fellow Bengals fans and even the opposition can enjoy your reactions and honest opinions on the games. Yep, I'm nothing if not honest. I try to be analytical. Sometimes I'll say emotional stuff, but you're always going to get full honesty out of me, and you're going to, I'm always going to try to be, not just honest but also analytical. But whatever it is. Defense did something. I'm surprised too, Jeff. They did it. They did it, though. And I guess I'm not that surprised because it's the Raiders. I mean, they almost stopped them on that first drive, too, until they, didn't. And then just completely forgot to play the whole rest of the drive. But, I mean, it's not that surprising because it's the Raiders. But, I mean, that should show you where we are as Bengals fans, that we're that worried about stopping the damn Raiders offense. An offense that hasn't scored over 20 points in most of the games they've played all year. Like, to be absolutely clear about that. Like, we're not talking about the Eagles. We're not talking about the Ravens. We're not talking about, some semblance of the Chiefs, although I know they've had their struggles this year on offense. We're talking about the Raiders. I mean, a handoff to Chase Brown, and he gets to the outside, manages to get past the defensive line. Picks up about 7 yards there. It's a good run there by Chase Brown. Ravens ended up settling for a field goal there, so they're up 10-0 on the Broncos. Anything else happen as far as changing score goes? I don't think so. But yeah, I don't want to root for the Ravens, but I do think that the Broncos losing could be good for us. The Ravens losing could potentially be good for us too, because I mean, it's not like we can't win the division. It's just I'm not even thinking about it right now. There's a flag on the play. I'm curious as to what the flag is. They're waving off the flag, I think. Okay. I wonder if they were going to call holding on the Bengals or something like that, but they didn't. So, play stands as called. Play stands as called. A lot of competitive games going on, and then a couple not so competitive games. Joe Burrow on 2nd and 3. From looks like the 17-yard line. Takes a shotgun snap. He is an empty. He's going to throw over the middle, and he's got Eric All. That's a beauty of a pass by Joe Burrow there. That's going to be about a 20-yard pickup. That's what you like to see. That was a strike. That was a strike and perfect timing by Joe Burrow because he found Eric All right in the sweet spot, right in the exact moment where he'd be away from the most number of defenders. That was some soft zone coverage biting the Raiders in the ass on that play. Nice to see it happening to somebody else for fucking once. I will root for the Browns before I ever root for the Ravens. I'll address that here in a second, Jeff. From the 35, it's going to be a quick pitch forward to Jamar Chase, who picks up about 8 yards on... I don't think that's a jet sweep because jet sweep you go behind, right? But it's the same basic concept. It's just he pitched it forward. Either way, Jamar Chase picks up 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Jeff will root for the Browns before the Ravens. Not me, Jeff. I mean, obviously the Ravens were way more competitive. The Ravens are the team to beat, right? In the AFC North. If it's not us, which right now it's definitely not us, but. Anyway, Joe Burrow's in the half shotgun formation, I guess is what I'm just going to call it now. Chase Brown just cannot really get anything there. It's a great tackling job there by number 9 to bring Chase Brown down for maybe 1 yard. It's Tyree Wilson, the defensive end, who just used all of his strength to get Chase Brown down there. And so Chase Brown picks up 1 yard, but it's going to be 3rd and 1 now. So I'll take 3rd and 1, though. Yeah, so the Ravens are, I think, the team to beat in the AFC North right now. So obviously, it's hard to root for them because you want the Bengals to be able to keep up with them. But I definitely hate the Browns more than I hate the Ravens. All right, 3rd and 1, Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. He throws. He's caught by Jamar Chase. He's got the first down. It's only like a 2-yard pickup, but that's enough for the first down. So yeah, I've always not participated in the rivalry with the Ravens because it's a rivalry, division, etc. Their fans kind of suck sometimes, but not all of them. But I've never really truly viscerally hated the Ravens, the Browns, I don't want to say viscerally, but they're definitely like a team that I really don't like. So yeah, Joe Burrow, shotgun snap, he throws. He's got I think that's Eric All again for a short throw. He picks up a few yards, about a 6-yard gain. Can't really make anybody miss, but whatever. Yeah, I don't have, outside of them being division rivals, I typically don't have too much of a problem with the Ravens. The Browns, on the other hand, are a long storied rival with us. Ooh, Eric All is going down. That's unfortunate. He's been good today. I hope he's okay. But he did look like he was limping a little bit on that. Yeah, he when he was trying to get out of number 39's range there, and he just, I think he pivoted on his knee weird, and it just didn't work out. So hopefully he's okay, but that could not be great. He's limping off the field now, so Eric All might be done for today. I don't know. We'll keep up with that situation though. It's 2nd and 4. It was a good play either way. It's just unfortunate that it ended with him being hurt. But it is going to be 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. I think the Giants are wearing their Phil Simms LT era helmets and uniforms today. Hell yeah. I like those uniforms. I always liked the Giants writing on it and everything like that. I always thought those were pretty cool. Joe Burrow takes shotgun snap, fakes the handoff to Chase Brown, and then he throws it to Chase Brown, who breaks a few tackles. Nice. And I think he got it down to about the 15-yard line, maybe. It was always going to be a first down there, I think. But he managed to take it for about another, 7 or 8 yards. Let's see. Yeah, Joe Burrow throws it to Chase Brown. He's got all sorts of defenders and does a great job of finding a hole. Makes number 44 miss, breaks that tackle. And I think I misspoke when I said the 15-yard line. He wasn't that close. Yeah, it's the 36-yard line. I don't know why I said 15. But still a good play. Chase Brown takes the handoff there, and he doesn't get anything. Maybe a yard, but yeah, that was not as good of a run play there. The last play was a pass anyway, but you know what I mean. Don't carry the water for them, but the kits are clean. Yeah, dude, I like those old school Giants uniforms. Looks like Nate Hobbs of the Raiders is down and in some pain. So, I mean, once again, you hope he's okay, but probably going to have to come off the field here. Hopefully it's only for a couple of plays, but we'll see. Going to commercial break now. Yeah, no, dude. Those Phil Simms LT era uniforms, I really like those for the Giants. When they switched to the Eli Manning era Giants uniforms, when they switched to that, I wasn't a big fan. I like the Giants written out logo better than I like that NY. And I know the NY was like the old school for them, and they kind of went back to their old thing. But I kind of like their '90s shit better. The same with the Jets. I liked that 90s uniform they had, with the dark green helmets and the word Jets written out and that logo. I highly preferred that logo and uniform combination to the Mark Sanchez era, white helmet, with the circular oval Jets logo. Yeah, I think both New York teams should go back to their 90s look. And I know they've both kind of brought them back as alternate uniforms, but I think they should bring them back permanently, personally. Now, the Jets have done a little better because the Jets did bring back their green helmets. It seems like those are, if not their main helmets, it seems like they use them pretty significantly often. So the Jets made the right move there with their helmets, but, I think they can go a step further and really just kind of, bring that full aesthetic back because ever since they went away from that, the Jets just have not been as interesting to me personally. Not that I care that much about the Jets anyway, which is why I kind of judge them based off of their uniforms, right? Then they bring Aaron Rodgers in, and Aaron Rodgers just doesn't really look like Aaron Rodgers. They're surviving. They beat the Texans. Give the Jets credit. They beat the fucking Texans. But, they're still 3-6. So, did they save their season, or did they just give their fans false hope? Because, if the Bengals were coming off a 2-6... If the Bengals had fallen to 2-6, if they hadn't won I guess the Panthers. No. If they hadn't won that Browns game, right, and the Bengals were 2-6 at this point, I'd probably be pretty much like season's over. So hey, beat the Texans, but you're still 3-6, Nate Hobbs is still, not to make a pun, but hobbling into the tent there, so that doesn't look great for him. Joe Burrow's in the shotgun formation on 2nd and 9, and he motions Chase Brown up to block from in the middle there. And he takes the shotgun snap, he throws, and he's got Jamar Chase, who falls down, but, he does catch the ball, and that's going to be about a 6-yard pickup. Might have been 7, I don't know. Probably going to call it 6. So it's probably going to be 3rd and 3 here. And for what it's worth, Jamar Chase probably would not have... I wonder if he got a concussion there. Nate Hobbs, that is. Jamar Chase probably would not have, he probably would have gotten tackled immediately if he hadn't fallen down. So, he wasn't getting a first down on that anyway. But, then again, he's Jamar Chase. He totally could have. It's Jamar fucking Chase, I wouldn't put it past him. But anyway, Joe Burrow, shotgun snap, he throws. He's got, through contact, he's got Andre Yoshivas. And he holds on to that ball. And that's just enough for a first down, but it is a first down. He held on to that. Or was that Gesicki? I thought it was Yoshivas. It was 80, wasn't it? No, it was Gesicki. Okay. I can't tell the difference between a 0 and an 8, I guess. So that was Mike Gesicki holding on to that. Great job through the contact to hold on to it. And gives the Bengals a first down. Will I be here for the Thursday night game? Is it the Bengals? If it's the Bengals, then yeah. Yeah, I'll be there. Joe Burrow throws the ball up and almost intercepted on the ricochet by the Raiders, but luckily that falls harmlessly to the ground. So now it's going to be 2nd and 10. That Max Crosby got his hands on that one, and it flew up in the air. But luckily it flew backwards a little bit, and 96 there of the Raiders is not able to come down with it. Because that could have been disastrous. Max Crosby was basically just unblocked on that play. Nate Hobbs is now being carted off the field, so he's definitely done. Joe Burrow, shotgun formation. He takes a snap, rolls back. Better protection this time. He throws over the middle, and he tried to get Trent Irwin, but he's not able to hang on to it like Mike Gesicki was through the contact, and that now is going to be 3rd and 10. So, that's not good. Will I be here for the Thursday night game? That is... with the Ravens? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'll be covering the Ravens game. Yeah, I'm going to cover all 17 Bengals games if I can, all 17 Bengals games if I can anyway. The only reason I would skip is if I had some sort of major life thing that I had to deal with, But that's not what's happening. I will be here for Thursday night for sure. Absolutely here for Thursday night. I'm kind of glad you said something, Jeff, because I don't think I was actively aware that the Bengals were playing on Thursday night. I probably should be, but thanks for mentioning that. I wonder how much money the cart driver makes. It's probably a decent amount, right? I'm guessing it's probably a part-time position, but you probably get paid a decent amount for that part-time position, I would think probably a decent amount, but I don't know. I wonder if we can figure that out. Cart driver in the NFL, there's not really much information. NFL drivers earn $38,000 a year, which is barely anything. But also, I don't know what NFL driver means. Like, that's not. We're not talking about the cart driver. All right, Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. He's got the ball at the 26-yard line. He's going to scramble out and he's going to throw. He's got Gesicki. Did he hang on? He hung on to it, but they're saying he was out of bounds. I don't know about that, dude. Let's see the replay there. Let's see the replay there because he hung on to that and he held on to it, but maybe his foot stepped out of bounds. Let's see. That was a great throw by Joe Burrow, but if he was out of bounds, maybe not as good as all that. See, catch. Nope. Yeah. His foot went out of bounds. Okay. All right. Yeah, that first foot comes down out of bounds. Damn it! I think both feet came down out of bounds, actually. Good job by 25 there of the Raiders to push him out. So Evan McPherson's going to come out for the 77-yard field goal. 44-yard field goal attempt. 77. Oh, my God. All right. The kick is up. And did he... Okay, it went in. I thought he pushed it to the right. It looked like he did, but it went in. So that's good. I shouldn't be this nervous with Evan McPherson as our kicker because he was supposed to be really good, man, and he hasn't been as automatic lately. Which he's still a good kicker. Like Evan McPherson's still a good kicker. Like people, I think, are trashing him too much for not being Justin Tucker, basically. Like, and that's because that's all the hype that he got. But he's still a good kicker. But maybe not as reliable as he once was, which is unfortunate. But he got that one. And that one was looking rough, but it went in. Bengals take the lead 10-7. Hopefully the defense can come through again. But yeah. If it's $20 an hour I'm in, hell yeah, I'd do that job for $20 an hour. I'd absolutely do that job for $20 an hour. It was out. Yeah, I thought it was in. I thought it could have been in initially, but then I saw the replay, and yeah, his first foot was clearly out. With a little bit better body control, maybe he could have gotten it in, but it wasn't. So. Since the Bengals D stopped the Raiders last time, I'm more comfortable with Cincy kicking a field goal. That's what I'm saying, Jay. Yeah, the rule of thumb is the team with the most points at the end wins. Yeah, thanks, Chris Collinsworth. Why is there... What the hell? Weird-ass commercial. On that, that I'm not... I don't want to watch that show. But anyway, yeah, the field goal. Absolutely take the field goal there. The reason why I was saying you don't take the field goal on the first drive is because you need to develop some momentum because you can't trust the defense right now. But the defense I think the defense has now shown that they're capable of stopping the Raiders. So now you can think of it more strategically. Take the points since they're there, especially since they were kind of starting to run out of steam on that drive. They were getting it done, but they were making little mistakes. Joe Burrow pushed that ball maybe a little bit too far to the left for Mike Gesicki. Now to be fair, maybe that was the only place he could have gotten it, and maybe Mike Gesicki should have had better foot control on that play. But it is what it is. Never thought about what that way. The cart driver thing. I don't remember what you're talking about there. Jay. I never thought about it that way. Oh, okay, you're responding to Jay's comment. Yeah. No, for sure. You absolutely take the points there. Not on that first drive, but on that second drive, yeah, you take the points. Because maybe the defense is going to do something today. Anyway, the kickoff is away, and that's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. We got 7 minutes left in the second quarter, and the Bengals get the ball first in the second half, by the way. So if the defense can get something going on this drive, if they can stop them again, and then the offense can go get some points of any kind, then you've got a chance to double up. Depending, I don't know. 7 minutes left. You'd think there's 3 or 4, 2 or 3 at least drives left to go. But the way both of these teams are playing, Probably not. This could take off the majority of the time remaining, honestly. But if they get a stop, I guess it won't. But then again, the Bengals offense will probably take all that time off. All right, Minshew's going to hand the ball off to Alexander Madison. There you go. And Madison keeps his... They can't bring him down. What the hell? They don't give him... I think they ended up giving him like a yard, maybe. I don't know when the play was ruled dead. But, they stopped him, like, at the line of scrimmage, and then they just couldn't fucking bring him down. It was like 3 or 4 seconds where he was just like the entire Bengals team was on him. Nobody could actually bring him down. He only gets a yard out of it, so it's not terrible, but it's just like, damn. Like, it feels like even when they're doing good stuff, it's just like, could you do it a little better? Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He throws, and he's got, was that Jacoby Myers? Yeah, he's got Jacoby Myers, and it was a jump ball, and there was no coverage, really. Who was on him there? Is that DJ Turner? Yeah, it's DJ Turner. DJ Turner has just been getting burned all day. That's what's been happening. What's been happening is DJ Turner has been covering these guys, and then he picks a direction and he runs regardless of what the other guy does. He's not really watching the other guy to try to mimic his movements. He's just picking the direction he's going to run, and then he just that ends up being what he's going to do. So now it's going to be 1st and 10. Looking a little promising there, but not now. All right, from the 49-yard line. It'll be a fake handoff, and once again, Jacoby Myers is free in the middle of the field, and he picks up about 25 yards on that play. And I think Cam Taylor-Britt was the one in coverage there. God, we got to do something about this, dude. Cam Taylor-Britt, he turned the wrong direction. Like, these Bengals cornerbacks are just not watching the guys they're covering. They're assuming they're going to go in one direction. It's like me playing on fucking Madden, dude. They're just picking a direction to go and hoping the receiver goes that direction. It's unsustainable. Like, this is getting a little ridiculous, really. All right, Minshew's going to fake the handoff. He's got pressure. Nice hit there by Von Bell. Tackles Jacoby Myers for about a yard loss. So there you go. Where was that? Where was that? After watching college football on Saturday, the NFL kickoff looks so silly. I mean, it does, but just get rid of it entirely. I feel. Just get rid of it entirely. Distant Land Raider, the Bandit Invader. What a fucking name, bro. Honestly. Off topic, but anyone else see that Dodger fan blow his hand off with a firework? I didn't. That sucks. That's terrible. No, I did not see that at all, sir. Gardner Minshew is going to get sacked there by Trey Hendrickson. There you go. And you're slowly maybe pushing them out of field goal range. They're at the 35. They're still in field goal range. And they got Daniel Carlson's a good kicker, so... I don't think there's any real danger of him missing anything here. But, you get another tackle for a loss, and you're starting to think about, maybe you knock him out of field goal range, honestly. Great job by, looked like it was Joseph Osai and Chris Jenkins doing a great job of pushing pressure into Gardner Minshew's face. And Trey Hendrickson cleans it up at the end. So, great play there by the Bengals defense. It's 3rd and 19. I'm guessing they're going to play soft coverage here, probably. It's going to be a handoff to Alexander Madison, and that's exactly what happens. The Bengals play it soft. They give him 7 yards, which, holds them to 4th down, but it's a pretty makeable field goal now. Pretty easily makeable field goal now. And you got Daniel Carlson, who's one of the more reliable kickers in the NFL, so, Raiders probably going to tie it up here. I didn't see it either. It's gnarly. Yeah, I kind of don't want to see it, honestly. That sounds unpleasant to see. His fingers. Ugh, that's terrible. That's awful, dude. Poor guy. Yeah, it's terrible. What an unfortunate thing. By the way, Distant Land Raider, the Bandit Invader. I love your fucking name. I want to point that out. You're coming here with unpleasant news, and I don't like that. I don't want to see that. But your name is fucking awesome. And I don't recall seeing you here before, because I guarantee you I would have made a big deal about your name before. So if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. We do this every week for the Bengals, and I do some streams that aren't Bengals games too. But in general, I commit to doing the Bengals games. So, I appreciate you showing up, man. I appreciate you being here, and like I said, feel free to subscribe if you want. Fucking phenomenal name, bro. Love it. We are 2 subs up since the game started. Well, yeah, we had one guy subscribe earlier because like I said hello. I forget who that was. We're on a commercial, so I can look. Don't remember now. It was before Walt showed up. It wasn't Seth, because I mean Seth's a big Ravens fan. I know Seth. I don't know Seth. Oh, it was Imbekara. Imbekara 2010 was the guy. One of them who subscribed earlier. Other than that, I mean, maybe Walt wasn't subscribed and Walt subscribed. I mean, that'd be cool. I don't know. I don't know who the other one is though. But one of them was definitely Imbekara because he told me he did. But no, that's cool that we're up 2 subs. That's cool that we're up 2 subs right now. We achieved our season goal as far as subs go, so I'm happy with that. We achieved our season goal as far as the subs go, and now I'm kind of pivoting towards watch hours, which means, that's I gotta crank the content up, which I've been trying, but busy with school and everything like that. But excuses. We'll figure something out. I said I was going to do a stream, I think on Wednesday, and that didn't end up happening. I apologize about that. But yeah, we definitely. I intended to do the stream on Wednesday. It didn't happen because I actually had to go do some filming at school, and it was the only time we could really get everybody together. And I think I might have known about that beforehand, so I said we were going to do it on Wednesday, and then I forgot that I had a thing scheduled. So that was my fault. But, we'll try to do it this Wednesday, maybe. I mean, we got the Thursday game coming up, too. But we can't do predictions during the game. All right, Daniel Carlson kicks the ball, kicks the field goal. That is good. I don't think there was ever any real question about it. So it was going to be 10-10. Bengals are, with 2:58 left to go, the Bengals have an opportunity to still double up. If they can go get points on this drive, they're going to get the ball first on the next in the next half. And so, opportunity to double up, which, I mean, the way the defense is playing, I think you got to take every opportunity you can to get points, I mean, like I said earlier, and I mean, they did hold them to a field goal there, to be fair, but I mean, they could have stopped them and they didn't. It's just frustrating. Chad is weird without Mikey and Jim. Yeah. Yeah, it's not quite as active without Mikey and Jim. But I mean, there's plenty of like, Jeff, you, and John, and Jay. Jay really helps out because Jay talks a lot. Yeah, but without Mikey and Jim, it's definitely different because I mean they're just trash talking all the time, and they're definitely 2 of the more active people. But Mikey's streaming, and I wholeheartedly want Mikey to continue streaming because I love seeing people do stuff they want to do, I don't know what Jim's doing, but he's probably watching the Vikings game, and more power to him, right? Did I just see the Cowboys touchdown? I didn't. I'm sure I'll probably see a highlight here at some point, though. All right, so the kickoff is going to go into the end zone. That's going to be knelt down for a touchback by Travion Williams. Looked like he was trying to see if he could maybe justify doing like trying to run that back, but he ultimately decided against it, which is correct. That is the correct decision. Yeah, the AFC North has been unfortunate this year, for Bengals fans, obviously, and then I guess for Browns fans too, right? It's been worse for them technically. Joe Burrow, just gets absolutely manhandled. Got a guy right in his fucking face. There's a flag. I think the Raiders are going to get penalized there for unnecessary roughness. So Joe Burrow got hit and had to get rid of the ball. And he got Jamar Chase, who wasn't able to bring it down. Jamar Chase, bumbled it up and ended up losing control of it. Illegal man downfield on the Bengals. Fuck, never mind. I guess that's on the Bengals. Does that mean we get to do first down over? Because I think I'll take that over what just happened. Amarius Mims got called for illegal man downfield. If we get to redo first down, I guess I think I'll be fine with that. Because I mean, that was it's essentially like going back to an old school touchback. We'll start from the 25. And yeah, we do get it. It's 1st and 15. That's another difference. But anyway, it is 1st and 15. So restarting, Joe Burrow throws nice. Wow. All right, so that was a little high for Mike Gesicki, but he goes up and grabs that. And lucky he doesn't have anybody on top of him as he's trying to grab it. But he stretched out and made that catch. That's going to be about 20, might have been even 25 yards. Got it down to the 40, 45. Got it down to about the 48, 49 yard line before he went down. So, yeah, it was about a 25-yard, 23, 24, 25-yard catch by Mike Gesicki. Yeah, down to about the 50, Jeff. Down to about the 50. Not quite. It's at the 49. It's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown. Keeps his feet moving. It's a nice, nice job to keep on his feet, but he only ends up getting about maybe 3 yards out of that. So, but hey. That pass to Mike Gesicki, though, it wasn't Joe Burrow's best pass of all time, but what a play by Gesicki to go up and grab that, though. I think we're going to somebody take a timeout or something because we're going to commercial now. See if I can find this Cowboys touchdown if it's all that exciting. Who are they playing again? I can't even remember. I don't give a shit about the Cowboys this year. Falcons. Falcons are winning 14-10 for what that's worth. Let's see. So we had Rico Dowdle pass from Dak Prescott for 3 yards. So it must have just been a really good catch or something. See if I can find it on Twitter. Because that's ESPN's not wanting to load. Rico Dowdle. Let's see. Dak Prescott rolls back. He's got pressure in his face. And I see. He's getting out of pressure and scrambling around. Then he throws. And wow, what a catch by Rico Dowdle. Like he bobbled it and then brought it. He fell on the ground and, it's in the air and he brings it back down and knocks it into his. That was a really good play by both Dak Prescott and Rico Dowdle. Maybe not the best throw by Dak, to be fair. But yeah, he manages to evade all of that pressure. Almost runs into his own lineman and manages to get past him too. Yeah. Oh wow. I'm glad I looked that up. That's a great play. That is a great play. All right. Cam Taylor-Britt is so lost this season. I think he is. I think we need to go find a starting cornerback because Cam Taylor-Britt ain't it. I don't think we need to stop playing Cam Taylor-Britt by any means, but I think him being the number 2 guy I think him being the number 1 guy is a little much. I think we need to go get a true number 1 corner. If we can trade for a guy like that, go get a great cornerback and trade for him. That would be really nice, and then we could put Cam Taylor-Britt at the number 2 cornerback spot, and then we could put DJ Turner at number 3, which at that point you're a lot more confident because DJ Turner has talent, he can play, he's just not that he's not super reliable. So having him start all the time as the number 2 guy, yes, that's not. Don't really like to see that. Bengals fans 3 hours ago were talking about how Jermaine Burton's got this amazing opportunity. Turns out he's inactive. What a shame with Jermaine Burton, dude. He's just never out there, and he's so fucking talented. But at this point, it's got to be his own damn fault. All right, so I think that was going to be offsides by Max Crosby. There's all sorts of flags there. And Joe Burrow just got absolutely destroyed by Max Crosby on that play. Emeritus Mims didn't even touch him. Joe Burrow just got destroyed. But I think it's because it was offsides. We need to be something on defense, so I'm on board. Yeah. Well, hey, the defense has been doing all right, man. Right? They stopped them on that one drive. They forced a punt. Yeah, it is offsides, by the way, on Max Crosby. But they stopped them. They forced a punt. And roughing the passer. Are they going to Okay, so I think they're just going to give him the roughing the passer. I don't know about that roughing the passer. I mean, it was a big hit, but I mean, what's the issue on roughing the passer? Is it because he drove him to the ground? I don't know about that. That's soft, but no, it's because he hit him in the helmet. Maybe he did hit him in the helmet. To be fair. I don't think even Max Crosby expected to be at Joe Burrow that fucking quickly, right? Joe Burrow just completely blindsided, had no idea that was coming. All right, 1st and 10. He's going to hand the ball off to Chase Brown, who sidesteps. There you go. Manages to get past the defensive line and gets it down to about the 20-yard line for a 12-yard Bengals first down. There we go. There we go. Let's go, offense. All right, now at the very least, they should, I say should because you just don't know, but they should get some points now. And if they can keep that clock moving, they'll have the chance to double up after halftime. And that could be huge. We need to do something on defense. We do. But the defense has been all right today, man. They made a stop, and they held them to a field goal on the drive, which was looking like it might end up falling apart. So defense has been okay. It's going to be a short pass to Jamar Chase, who just, they can't tackle him. That's, again, nice to see that happening in the Bengals' favor. Jamar Chase dragging defenders across the first down marker for about an 11-yard pickup. There you go. Better be offsides. It was offsides and roughing the passer, Jeff. And again, I don't know if I agree with that being roughing the passer there, but it was. They called it. Whatever. It was still going to be offsides either way. Like, I think that's a first down, right? Like they you know, it would have been good news for the Bengals either way. So, but they called roughing the passer. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap on 1st and goal. He's throwing over the middle. He's got Yoshi, who dives. I thought he was a little short, but they're calling a touchdown. I thought he was about a yard short, but maybe that ball broke the plane. That could be true. That ball might have broken the plane. It was very close. I want to see the replay here. But Yoshi possibly with a touchdown play there. And they're saying it's a touchdown. And so then the scores got him up, the scoreboard's got him up 16-10. So let me see this replay. Because, let's see, Yoshi, and he dives like 3 yards too. I'm going to have to see that again. I couldn't even really see on the replay. All right, are we going to get the extra point? Because if they kick the extra point, then there's no question about it, really. I think the booth is reviewing the play, though. So I would almost actually be fine if they called this not a touchdown, because then the Bengals can knock more of those 32 seconds off the clock, and you almost guarantee the Raiders don't even have a shot to go get a touchdown. That ball is by a sliver across the line, but it's also on the ground, so it's hard to say. Hard to say. Are they calling that a touchdown? Because if it is a touchdown, it's by the barest of margins. Just like Chase Brown's touchdown earlier. All right, so there you go. Extra point is up. The Bengals do get the touchdown. So with 32 seconds left to go in the half, defense, just don't let any massive plays happen. Don't even let them get a field goal. And then the Bengals have an opportunity to really kind of take control of this game after the half is over. I will never get over the defense in the Ravens and Commanders game. Dude, I'm still pissed about that, dude. Because, like, the offense played so well. You know, I mean, we could be 5-3 right now, looking to get to 6-3 with wins over the Ravens. Because, like, dude, if the defense even remotely shows up in either of those games, suddenly this is feeling like, you know, a season where we got all this momentum and maybe we can go, you know, do something crazy in the playoffs. But because the defense just didn't show up at all, now we're 3-5, hoping we can get to 4-5 and maybe have some vague chance at doing something good this season, you know? Man. Ugh. This season feels like it's about to go off the deep end by the barest of margins, you know? Like, you know, one fumble from Tanner Hudson here. You know, one busted coverage by Cam Taylor-Britt there. It's a touchback, by the way. The Raiders going to have 32 seconds from the 30-yard line. But just like one, like you could probably find three plays this whole season that changes the Bengals record right now from 3-5 to 6-2. You probably could find that. You could probably find that. Now, obviously, that's not what happened. We have to talk about and live in the reality that we have. But that's why it's so frustrating, because they're so fucking close. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He throws. He's got Jacoby Myers. About a 14, 15-yard pickup. I think the Bengals are really just trying to get the Raiders. The Raiders have 2 timeouts, by the way, so I don't agree with playing the soft coverage there, because the Raiders can stop the clock all they want. If you let them get big gains, and they're going to get in field goal range. And right now, as a defense, your job is to stop them from getting a field goal. Like, period. Like, 0 points. Because if the clock runs out and then you make them end up like settling for a field goal when maybe if they'd had more time they could have gotten a touchdown. That's not a win in my eyes. That's like, I guess that's maybe a strategic win on Zach Taylor's part. But that's not a win for the defense if they hold them to a field goal on this drive. So you gotta fucking stop them, especially with 32 seconds left. I don't give a shit how many timeouts they have. You gotta stop them, man. You have got to stop them. If they let them get a field goal, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, I mean, and we're winning. We still got a chance to double up. It'll be okay, but I'm gonna be pissed though. Gardner Minshew's in the empty formation, and they got about 15-ish yards to go for a field goal range. Jacoby Myers is going to get the screen pass, and they tackle him. And are the Raiders going to take their last time out here? Yep, they are, with 22 seconds left. So the nice thing is now you've got there is some strategy right now, because if you can if you can not let them get a big play on this next drive, maybe you can keep that clock moving. And all the Raiders can do right now is spike the ball. Like, they can't with they're actually saying 23 seconds. So the Raiders are going to have the ball at the 48 something yard line. I think they're going to be just across the 50-yard line. It's about the 48 and a half. Well, 47 and a half, I guess is the way you'd put that. So anyway, Gardner Minshew is in the shotgun formation. Don't give him much here, man. I understand keeping him in bounds, but don't give him much here. Gardner Minshew throws, and that's nowhere. That's way overthrew Jacoby Myers on that one. There's nothing there. 20 seconds left. It's 3rd and 4. And you've got probably as much chance of holding them to 4th down here and, forcing them to just, kneel the rest of the clock out as you do of really probably anything else happening here. So, I mean, I think the key here, just don't let them get a first down here. If you can not let them get a first down, maybe that'd be a long field goal for them, though, if they even get close to the first down. So just don't let them get a first down here. That's the thing. Gardner Minshew's got a 3rd and dirt, and they did it. So it's going to be 4th down, and I'd imagine the Gardner Minshew's is going to kneel the rest of the clock out here, because it's too long for a field goal. Punting is probably too dangerous, I would think. You're not going to go for it because the Bengals have all 3 of their timeouts, and they'd have 15 seconds left. So if I'm the Raiders here, I'm kneeling on it. Just, taking the L, just letting the idea go. Unless they're going to go for a field goal. They bringing out Carlson? That's not Carlson. That's not Carlson, right? No, it's AJ Cole. That's the punter. So they're going to punt. Okay. I mean, not that I think anything's really going to happen here. There's a flag on the play. Delay of game on the Raiders. So, interesting. A really good punt here could basically, settle it here for the Raiders. But, okay, now never mind. I'm stupid. I'm stupid, y'all. I just realized why I'm stupid. I was sitting here saying the Raiders are going to, kneel on the ball here. Why the fuck would they do that? Because that'd be an immediate turnover. So I'm realizing on compounding levels how stupid I am by saying that. Of course they're not going to kneel on it. It's 4th and 9. You'd give the ball away to the Bengals in solid field position with all 3 of their timeout, or with 2 of their timeouts, and basically 16 or 15 seconds left to go. That'd be absolutely stupid. Of course they're going to punt it. Yeah, okay, then never mind. I'm absolutely dumb. Ignore me entirely. Punting is by far and away the only correct decision here. So, AJ Cole is going to come out and punt this ball, and that is going to Bounce Raiders. Wow, damn, they got that ball down to about the 4-yard line. That's a good punt by AJ Cole. Good heads up coverage there by the Raiders too. So there's a flag on the play though. Hold up, there's a flag because of course there fucking is. Holding on the Bengals. Okay, well, fuck. All right, so I think the Bengals are just going to kneel on it here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We already got the points and we stopped them, so it's fine. Just kneel on the ball. Go into halftime. You got a 7-point lead, and then you get the ball first on offense. And you got a chance to double up. Don't get too greedy. I know they're not going to. I'm just saying I was trying to see if maybe that's a possibility, but no, they're not going to do that. Joe Burrow kneels on it, and they're going to go into halftime. So the Bengals have the lead, 17-10 at half. It has been, let's see. It has been I'd say an up and down day from the defense, but they have generally gotten the job done. Now it's against the Raiders, so I'm not that impressed, but they got the job done. So, whatever. Offense has generally been doing its job pretty well. So obviously another half like that and the Bengals are going to win. But you got a really great opportunity right now. You get the ball first and then you can like double up on your score and you end up, it's at least 20-10 if you can get any points. If you're lucky, maybe you get it to 24-10 and you've got a 2-touchdown lead. That's not 2-touchdown lead. It's it's a 2-touchdown lead. I don't know what I'm thinking. So you can get a 2-touchdown lead if you get a touchdown on this next offensive drive. And then at that point, I mean, you never say never, of course, but you're feeling pretty good about the Bengals' chances because the Raiders, like I said, the Raiders haven't scored over 20 points in a game for most of their games this year. I mean, there have been some games where they have, right? But like for the most part, they just haven't. And so I think you're feeling pretty good if you're the Bengals right now. You got the whole. I don't know what. I was gonna say I don't know what the ESPN odds are for this game, but I'd imagine the Bengals probably have pretty high odds to win this game right now. Doing pretty good. Ravens are up 24-10 on the Broncos. Oddly enough, this sounds. I know it sounds crazy for me to say it, but I think that is good news for the Bengals actually. Because you're really thinking more about that wild card spot than you are right now the division. The Bengals currently have an 81.7 chance to win, according to ESPN. So that's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Obviously, that's not a guarantee, but that is pretty damn good. So I'm going to catch up with these comments, and then I think I'm probably going to go put a pizza in the microwave for me for a second. I'll leave you guys with I got a video. Do I have a video? Yeah, there we go. I got a video. I think it's the same one, but it's just so the stream doesn't look dead, right? Is Tom Grossi streaming right now? Because if he is, then maybe I shouldn't, but I don't think he's gonna raid me. He is not. Okay, so I have really no reason not to go get some food, honestly. Which is weird, but I mean, like, think about like the reasons why this channel has grown. Like, honestly, those 2 raids he did on my channel, or was it 3? I can't even remember now. But the raids he did on my channel were a big part of why we, have had the success that we've had. Looks like he is not live right now, so I'm not even going to bother with that. So real quick, I'm going to catch up on these comments, and then I'll leave y'all with a video, and I'll be back before the half starts, or before the second half starts. Touchdown, Mr. Princeton. Andre Yosvash got the job done. I don't know if John, if you're still watching, but, there's Yoshi. You've been wanting to see Yoshi all year. I'm confident there's enough time on the clock for Vegas to do... I'm confident there's not enough time on the clock for Vegas to do any damage. Mostly because it's Vegas, It's mostly because it's Vegas. But obviously, we know now they didn't. But at least we can spend 2/3 of our off-season on defense, and fans will be happy. I'll be happy, dude. If we don't make the playoffs this year, I don't know how I could be happy going into next year. Maybe happy if they do make a lot of big moves on defense for sure, but even then, I'll be like, it feels like we're gonna lose T. Higgins. We're almost without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to lose T. Higgins next year. So we're not going to have him. Not that we've had him much all year anyway. But you know, the system we built feels like it's just like, you know, it's going to start eroding away. And so it's just like, if we can't even make the fucking playoffs this year, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I'll tell you that. Forgive me. Thank you. McCarthy broke his tablet. It's funny. That's funny. All right, so I'm going to leave you all with a video real quick. I'll be back here in a minute. That said, the Chiefs did hold the Eagles to a field goal on the ensuing possession, which might have been all the proof that we needed that the fates had deigned for the Chiefs to win this game. Or maybe it was the scriptwriters. Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and it had to be the damn Chiefs, didn't it? Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy for really likable guys like Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, yes, Travis Kelce. I still like Travis Kelce, and some of the solid Kansas City Chiefs fans that I've come to know over the years. Oh, and Carlos Dunlap is a Super Bowl champion. I can find some happiness in that personally. But damn it, that also means Juju Smith-Schuster, Brittany Mahomes, Jackson Mahomes, and the litany of just god-awful Chiefs fans that exist in that fan base. We're also celebrating today, and that right there is what makes me so disgusted, and part of why I was rooting for the Eagles. Oh well, though, you know, despite Juju winning a ring, we'll always have this beautiful hit that signaled the beginning of the end in Pittsburgh. But before we get into breaking down Super Bowl 57, I'd just like to ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It really helps my channel out, and it helps you know when all of my content drops. Now, I'll tell you one thing, y'all. You absolutely have to give it up to the Chiefs for the grit and determination it took to overcome their less than ideal start in this one. I'll tell you one thing, I was personally looking forward to the Chiefs losing a game where the Eagles ended up getting some big calls in key moments so we could hear the Chiefs fans just gripe and moan all offseason, just like they did after the AFC Championship game last year. You know, despite calling out Bengals fans for being sore losers this year, which, I mean, some of them were, but the Chiefs fans did the same damn thing last year, and I was, you know, kind of hoping that we'd see it again so I could be like, see, I told you they were like this, but, you know, we got what we got. And it's not all Chiefs fans, it's just some of y'all make an otherwise very likable squad very hateable, and it's just annoying, you know? Early on, we saw the Eagles and Chiefs both putting up touchdowns on their first possessions of the game. I told everybody around me that this is going to be a super high-scoring game at this point, judging by the way the defenses were playing, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Anyway, Chiefs missed a field goal, and the Eagles marched down the field for a touchdown. Chiefs went 3 and out, the Eagles started marching down the field again. Based on the way this game was going so far, it was starting to feel like the Eagles were really starting to seize the momentum and take control of this game. Then, Jalen Hurts inexplicably fumbled the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Nobody poked it out or anything, he just dropped it. Nick Bolton returned that fumble for a touchdown, and that was pretty much that. They got the ball back and confirmed that they were going on a good drive by going for a long, grinding touchdown on this one that they appeared to be putting together on the last drive, and finished the half, forcing the Chiefs to punt and knocking through a field goal, so now they're up 24-14. So I'm sure at this point you can see the difference that the fumble touchdown made in this game. I won't even call it a strip six, though, because Hurts literally dropped the ball before anybody was even on him. But seriously, if that drive had ended with a touchdown for the Eagles instead of the Chiefs, then it could have been a 31-7 ball game at the half. And as gritty as tenacious as the Chiefs were to come back in this one, I don't think they would have overcome a 31-7 deficit. It's like, I wholeheartedly believe that if Hurts doesn't drop that ball, this Super Bowl ends in kind of like a boring blowout. Nobody's ever really going to remember it. They're just going to remember that the Eagles were a really good team this year. And it seems like he believes that too, though, because he was absolutely kicking himself for that fumble at the press conference. I mean, like, that's gotta absolutely suck, man. So the Chiefs did that thing that I've seen the Bengals do so many times in Joe Burrow's career, and that's stare a halftime deficit right in the face, knowing damn well they have the ball first in the second half, and laughing in the face of elimination. The Chiefs marched right down the field, and they scored a touchdown with the first possession of the second half. And by the way, I'm telling y'all, defense really did not make much of an appearance tonight outside of that fumble touchdown. That said, the Chiefs did hold the Eagles to a field goal on the ensuing possession, which might have been all the proof that we needed that the fates had deigned for the Chiefs to win this game. Or maybe it was the scriptwriters. I don't know, but finally somebody played some damn defense over an important drive, and that was pretty much it. The Eagles had to settle for a field goal, and the Chiefs, of course, took a lead with a touchdown on their next possession. The Eagles would never take another lead in this ball game. They did get the ball back, but they went 3 and out, and the Chiefs got another touchdown on their next drive. Somebody, for the love of God, cover Travis Kelce and that TikTok guy. The Eagles finally managed to put some offense together on the next drive, and then they tied it up with a Jalen Hurts scramble for a 2-point conversion. But with 5 minutes left, the Chiefs get the ball in a tie ball game, and I think we all know how this script goes. The Chiefs were virtually unstoppable at following through with the famous words of their legendary coach, Hank Stram.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
They got the ball down to the Eagles' 15, where it did look like the Eagles had stopped them and forced the Chiefs to settle for a field goal. Then, for a second Super Bowl in a row, a game that was otherwise fascinating to watch was completely changed by an absolutely horrendous ticky-tacky defensive holding call. Like, to be clear, was this by the finest of technicalities defensive holding on James Bradbury? Yes, it technically was. But you're telling me that in the Super Bowl, we want the refs to be the stars of the game and put a black mark on an otherwise very popular game? Like, I agree with Kevin Burkhardt on this one. You kind of just have to let them play it out in this situation. Unless it's blatant and reckless and then you have to throw the flag. But why are we calling this penalty at this moment for a second Super Bowl in a row? It's just absolutely mind-boggling. Just absolutely infuriating. And by the way, that right there I think is a perfect example of why I don't think the NFL is rigged and why the whole scriptwriter thing is, that's a pretty obvious joke. I know there's a ton of money to be made in manipulating gambling lines and all that, but the NFL would have killed for this game to go into overtime. Honestly, the refs probably should have given the Eagles one last chance to extend this legendary game if you're looking at it from that perspective. But it didn't. It ended the way it ended, and now Patrick Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Let all the dunking on Aaron Rodgers commence. And oh boy, did people dunk on Rodgers after this one. But anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I'll feature the best ones in my next video, like this one from Teresa Turner, who said in my AFC Championship recap video, people saying Joe is better than Mahomes. Joe can't even come close to Mahomes. What? Mahomes has the hardware to prove how good he's been in just 5 games. But I do like your understanding of the game, and we here in KC knew he made a mistake. He was doing his job. If he pulled up Mahomes, would have not ran out of bounds, talking about Joseph Osai, of course, and gained more yards, but the Chiefs didn't score on any of those plays, and Mahomes' back was up against the wall. Lost 3 top receivers, and he was playing hurt. Mahomes has a heart for the game. And first of all, thank you for the kind words about my understanding of the game, Teresa, but I gotta say, this is the exact mentality that I'm trying to combat with Chiefs fans. Joe can't come close to Mahomes because Mahomes has the hardware. Like, do you realize Mahomes didn't win a Super Bowl until his 3rd season in the league? Like, that's incredible, by the way. I'm not trying to diminish, oh, only won a Super Bowl in his 3rd year in the league. And now he has a 2nd ring, and that's incredible, right? Like, good God, this guy is an absolute legend, and in no way, shape, or form am I trying to disrespect his legacy. But you're saying Joe Burrow isn't close when that dude went to the Super Bowl in his 1st full season in the NFL and went to the AFC Championship in his 2nd? Like, literally the only difference between these two right now is that Mahomes went the fuck off in the 4th quarter of Super Bowl 54 and got his team the win. Although, don't forget, he almost ruined their shot by throwing 2 interceptions on back-to-back drives in the 3rd quarter of that game. Joe had the game-winning throw to Jamar Chase. Okay, we're back. That's that lunch lined up perfectly with this game coming back. So I think somebody mentioned earlier that Joe Burrow's got to be perfect for the Bengals to win this game. Well, he's been damn near perfect so far. 18 completed passes on 21 attempts, and the ones that he didn't complete weren't like, I think maybe one of them might have been a throwaway, but a couple of them were dropped passes. 149 yards and 2 touchdowns so far. So he's having a good day. He's having a good day. Daniel Carlson's going to kick the ball to 19. Either way, it's going to be a touchback. Is that Kendrick Pryor? Got that number right? 19 isn't even on the fucking Bengals roster. I don't know who 19 is. Whoever that was the guy who did it. All right, Joe Burrow's coming out with the offense. Kendrick Pryor. It is Kendrick Pryor. They must have just brought him back for this game or something with all the inactives. Anyway, Joe Burrow going to take the shotgun snap. He's got pressure in his face, manages to shake it off, and he gets away from Max Crosby too. And he's just going to end up running it himself, and he's got the first... I don't know if he quite got the first down. Might have been like a half a yard short there. But good job by Joe Burrow. I guess he had nowhere to throw the ball, and did a great job of getting away from Raiders defenders, and just ends up taking it himself. Yeah, that was not great protection, but yeah, maybe he could have had Yoshi. But I think at that point he'd already decided that, he's going to run. So unless he definitely had Yoshi, I think he was just going to run. They did give him the first down, by the way. Chase Brown's going to get the handoff, and he breaks through the line. There you go. Gets to the third level before he gets taken down, and that's going to be a big Bengals first down. There you go. Offense getting the job done today, y'all. Offense getting the job done today. Michael Thomas went on another Twitter rant after he claims Derek Carr set up Olave for his injury. Man, that Saints team is just collapsing into drama at this point, aren't they? That's rough. Can't imagine Derek Carr did that on purpose, but yeah, maybe he was reckless. I don't know. I didn't see the play. All right, so from the 39-yard line now, Joe Burrow, he's in shotgun formation. He takes the snap, rolls back, he throws, and that is caught, I believe. Was that Kendrick Pryor? I think that was Kendrick Pryor who caught that pass for about a 9-yard pickup. Was that Kendrick Pryor? I didn't see. It was a higher number, or I'm sorry, a smaller number. Yeah, it had to have been like Kendrick Pryor. I didn't see exactly what the number was, but it was like in the teens, so it had to have been Kendrick Pryor. Damn, interesting. All right, Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. He's going to throw it short to Jamar Chase this time, who's got a little bit of speed, just enough to get to the outside for the first down. Let's go. See if I can find it on ESPN without spoiling the score or the next play. It was Kendrick Pryor. That 9-yard pass was to Kendrick Pryor. I'm a little surprised by that. Good to see the Bengals having a balanced passing attack without T. Higgins, because we're going to need to get used to that, because he is after he has just not played hardly at all this year. He's not coming back next year. I mean I thought there was pretty low chance that was going to happen anyway, but he's definitely not coming back this year now, I don't think. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. He throws. It's too far for Andre Yoshivas, but Yoshi was being absolutely manhandled on that play. So that's going to be a pass interference most likely. Pass interference. Pass interference on the Raiders, and so that's going to give the Bengals the ball probably around the 5 or the 6 yard line, roughly. Number 18 of the Raiders, Jack Jones, on that play. Turnabout is fair play as the Raiders got called for PI, which is what happened to the Bengals earlier today. Yeah, but that was definitely PI. In both cases. In both cases, it was absolutely PI. It was the correct call. First and goal. Joe Burrow from the 7-yard line hands the ball off to Chase Brown, who breaks through a couple tackles. Nice. Picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards. And it's going to be second and goal from about the 1.5. Offense looking real good right now. And that's without Orlando Brown. He's out today. It's kind of nuts. Who the hell is even playing? Is it Cody Ford who's playing left tackle? Yeah, Cody Ford's playing left tackle. That's nuts. And they're doing really well. But to be fair, Joe Burrow. There has been more pressure on Joe Burrow today. He's just been getting out of it more. And Chase Brown has generally been running to the right side. So I think that's they're not really trusting Cody Ford very much. They're just having him do like backup duty, like covering in the back. All right, so Joe Burrow was gonna throw on that play, but he just had immediate coverage in his face. And he throws that ball out of the back of the end zone. I think they were setting up to maybe try to see if they could get the ball to Amarius Mims there. I wonder if Mims had declared eligible or something, and that's part of why there was such pressure on Joe Burrow in that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. And even if you take a field goal here, it's going to kind of suck because you got so close. But, 20-10, you'll take that. From the 2-yard line, 3rd and goal, Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. He's going to roll out to his right. Good protection. He's going to throw, and that's caught for a touchdown. I think that's Drew Sample. Joe Burrow eventually found him, threw it to the correct place, and that is a touchdown for your Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals got the double up. They got the double up. So Bengals take a 23-10 lead pending the extra point. What happened on the Yeah, Bengals are coming off so this is it's basically back-to-back touchdowns, right? Obviously there was the one kneel down which technically counts as a drive, but Evan McPherson, his extra point is up, and that looked like it was a little bit in danger of being blocked, but it wasn't, and it was straight down the middle. So 24-10. Up 2 touchdowns. Cincy better not blow this lead. Dude, your words to God's ears, bro. Like, I'm the fact that I'm even remotely nervous about this game right now, still being up 24-10, and the Raiders offense just hasn't really done much all day. The fact that I'm nervous still is kind of a problem, right? We got a 2 touchdown lead. It's actually the 3rd quarter now. So I should go ahead and update that. But the fact that I'm nervous about this game, we're up 24-10, and what do we got? Like we got 11:27 left in the 3rd quarter. We're partway through the 3rd quarter. We're up 2 touchdowns, and yet I'm still kind of nervous about are the Bengals gonna fuck it up? Which wouldn't really be their MO this year. They haven't really. There was the Eagles game where it looked like the Bengals had a pretty solid chance to beat the Eagles before the half, but the second half they just shat the bed. The Ravens are sticking it to the Broncos right now. That game's probably, if not over, it's close to over. And that's they're only partway through the 3rd quarter as well. Browns are getting smashed by the Chargers, so no dice on that one. Chargers up 20-3 in that one. Although the Browns look like they're about to get another field goal, so it's going to be 20-6. Yes, Jameis Winston didn't make that much of a difference to the team. Atlanta's leading the Cowboys 21-10, despite that one crazy touchdown from the Cowboys. Kirk Cousins looks like he's had a pretty damn good day today. Bills only up 12-10 on the Dolphins. Interesting. Dolphins not really a very good team this year. Chargers up 23 on the Browns. Patriots up 10-7 on the Titans in a game that nobody gives a shit about, but if you're watching it, I guess it's at least competitive. Commanders up 21-10 on the Giants. They got control of that game, and that game's also near the 4th quarter too. Saints holding a slight 13-10 lead over the Panthers. However, the Panthers are in a goal-to-go situation, so they could, they're probably going to at least tie it up. They might take the lead. Interesting. And then the Ravens are handing it to the Broncos 31-10. So Ravens almost certainly going to come away with the win there, which is useful for the Bengals just because we're, in my opinion, I'm thinking more about wild card than I am the division at this point. Of course, the division's on the table. That's a possibility. If you sweep the Steelers and then the Ravens stumble a little bit, then there's a chance that you could turn things around and win the division. But it seems pretty unlikely at this point as Evan McPherson kicks that for a touchback. But it seems pretty unlikely at this point that the Bengals could win the division, realistically. But a wild card spot, that's on the table. That's right there. That's there for the taking if you can make it happen. So yeah, in my opinion, I'm fine if the Ravens win that game and the Broncos lose, because then the Bengals would be one game behind the Broncos. You know, the Bengals would be one game behind the Broncos, and the Chiefs are going to win that division, right? So you're probably partially competing with the Broncos. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He's got Trey Hendrickson causing chaos there in the backfield, but he gets out of it and gets it to number 84 because Logan Wilson is not playing very good coverage on that play. And somebody's hurt. The Raiders have just been getting beaten up today. It's Harrison Bryant, by the way, on the first down catch. Harrison Bryant's a little limpy, too, on that play. He might be going off. The Raiders just been getting beaten up to fucking back today. Like, that's rough. Whoever that was for the Raiders looks like he's still down. Bell Cow Brown. Yep, that's right. That's right. Zach Moss. Don't forget Zach Moss is inactive today, so it's the Chase Brown show today, and he seems like he's handling it pretty well. Seems like Chase Brown's handling it pretty well. What's his stats right now? Hasn't actually gotten in the end zone yet. As a runner, he did get a touchdown as a pass catcher, but he's averaging 6 yards per carry right now. So that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Like, 4 yards per carry is good. 6 yards per carry is pretty damn good. He's only got 12 carries so far, but that's double the number of rushes that the Raiders have had so far. Although really the Bengals have just had way more offensive plays than the Raiders. The Raiders currently have a total of looks like 21 offensive plays, and the Bengals have looks like, hold up, I'm going to do some quick mental math, or maybe some slow mental math. Let's see. 39. Bengals have had 39 plays to the Raiders 21, so Bengals are definitely dominating. If not time of possession, they're definitely dominating the who has the ball more, or at least who's running more plays. And yet Chase Brown is still at 6 yards per carry. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. Do we get like time of possession stats? Anything like that? Yeah, so the Bengals have had the ball for 20 minutes and 30 seconds so far. The Raiders have only had it for 13 minutes and 15 seconds. Halftime feels way shorter as an adult. It does. It does. It's like I felt like I barely had time to stuff food in my face before we got back to the game. When I was a kid, I felt like I could go make my dad could go make me like a full 3-course fucking meal, and I could probably go grab some snacks or something like that, and you'd still get back with a little bit of time to spare, but obviously that's just the perceptions. Of course it wasn't really like that, but yeah, I had time to throw some pizza in the microwave and then stuff it in my face, and literally as I was chewing my last bite, they came back from halftime. So Gardner Minshew's going to hand the ball off to Alexander Madison, who gets tripped up a little bit there in the backfield. But Logan Wilson can't fucking tackle him. So he still ends up getting about 2.5, maybe 3 yards on the play. Bengals have converted 19 first downs. Raiders have only converted 10. 39-30 total plays. I guess I was wrong earlier. Must have calculated something wrong. I was right about the Bengals having 39. It's just the Raiders have had more plays than I thought they have. All right. I'm probably punts, right? That probably counts. Alexander Madison gets another handoff, and that's about another 3-ish yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 3, I think. And is he hurt? No, he's not. Okay. He looked like he was a little slow to get up, but no, he's fine. It's good. It's good. Both teams have had 5 drives each. It's just the Bengals have been doing a lot more with those drives. Another Raiders player is getting carted off now. Who the fuck was that? Cody Whitehair. Huh. That's a starting offensive lineman, right? It's a fumble! And the Bengals are all over it. Logan Wilson picks it up, and I don't think he's going to end up getting to run that in. But the Alexander Madison and Gardner Minshew bumbled the handoff, and that ball just went flying backwards And Logan Wilson eventually comes up on it, but not quite quick enough that he wasn't able to get in the end zone. But the Bengals going to have the ball at like the 10-yard line. Let's fucking go. There you go. That's some defense right there, man. Now, again, we're playing the fucking Raiders, but there you go. Good job there by, I think, Joseph Osai to make sure Alexander Mattison did not recover that fumble. Logan Wilson scoops it up and gets it down to about the 10-yard line. I wonder if we can get another replay of that because I want to see how that handoff went. I guess we're not going to. Maybe we'll get to replay it later. Kitty goes meow. Damn right, John. Kitty goes meow. Did you see Yoshi got you a touchdown earlier? Joe Burrow rolls back. He throws, and he gets hit as he throws, but it's up, and he can't quite get it to Andre Yoshivats. It's a little too far for him. He got his hands on it, came down with it, and it bounced out, and so it wasn't a catch anyway, but he probably would have been out of bounds. So it's just a little too far of a throw by Joe Burrow there as he was getting hit. So, interesting play there. Paul McGuire always yelled when there's a fumble, fall on the ball. Trying to scoop it can lead to the opponent obtaining/retaining it. Yep. That was a great. I thought it was Joseph Osai who got on top of Alexander Mattison, make sure he didn't recover that ball. Chase Brown takes a handoff and he just bursts through the first level and gets about 9 yards on that run. Dude, he's having a good game. He's having a good game. Chase Brown, man. And again, I have to keep prefacing this with it's the fucking Raiders, so let's not get too excited. But hey, having good games, these are NFL teams across the board. So you take good games against whoever you can get them, right? Just hopefully you can build that momentum and use it to turn the season around. It's a massive uphill battle to turn the season around, but it can be done. Joe Burrow's going to take it himself, and it's a quarterback sneak. He picks up the necessary yardage, actually gets about 2 yards total, and that's going to be another Bengals first down. And I think now they actually do have it down to the 10. I think they might have got it down to the 20 earlier on that big play. All right. Everything is going the Bengals' way right now. That's really, really good to see the Bengals coming out and not just like lying on their backs and taking this terrible start to the season. They're still out there. They're fighting for every play. And again, I know it's the Raiders, but got to play who's on your schedule. Chase Brown just gets destroyed in the backfield there. That run didn't. That was about a 2-yard loss. Man, can you imagine if we actually did trade for Max Crosby, which has been an idea that people have been talking about, but I don't think it's very realistic that it would happen. But can you imagine if we did trade for Max Crosby and we paired him up with Trey Hendrickson, and those two were constantly flying off each side of the ball? Dude, you'd have an unstoppable pass rush at that point. Honestly, with that level of play, you'd probably get way better defensive back play too. I think the Bengals are going to take a timeout. Looked like they were a little confused there. With 7:40 left in the game. Apparently, Desmond Ridder is the Raiders' backup quarterback. That's interesting. How is he not starting over Gardner Minshew? Wasn't he a second-round pick? That's nuts. Man, what a shame too. Former UC Bearcat just has not been able to make it work in the pros at all. To be clear, I was just looking at the roster. I didn't see him on the screen or anything. But yeah, fumble, fall on the ball, get the job done. I like the fact that Joseph Osai fell on Alexander Mattison and made sure he couldn't recover that fumble. Honestly, that's the only reason the Bengals did recover the fumble, because Alexander Mattison had a good angle on it. But Joseph Osai made sure he didn't get it. And then Logan Wilson had all day to go pick it up after that. Joe Burrow, shotgun formation, takes a snap, rolls back. He's got pressure in his face, but he manages to get out of it. He throws, and that's caught! Mike Gesicki for the touchdown. Joe Burrow winding out of pressure. And that's where Joe Burrow's natural element is winding out of pressure. You want good enough offensive line play, I think, as the Bengals get over 30 for the first time in what feels like quite a while. So it's 30 with the extra point, it'll be 31, but I'll put that up when he actually makes it. It feels like Joe Burrow's natural element is a is being under pressure, right? Which is kind of crazy to say, but if you can, it almost kind of feels like if they could manufacture an offensive line that puts Joe Burrow under pressure, but doesn't constantly it isn't just like he can't overcome it, then that's when he's going to be his best. By the way, the extra point was good. But it feels like Joe Burrow's at his best when the offensive line is like putting pressure in his face, but not so much that he's just getting sacked on every other fucking play. So, interesting thought process. Do you like would the Bengals ever potentially downgrade the offensive line, or try to inject situations where Joe Burrow gets more in his element with pressure in his face to put him in a situation where he ends up, because Joe Burrow's looking fantastic today, guys. Like, absolutely fantastic. 31-10, the good guys, they better not choke this away. I think we're good now, Jay. I'll knock on wood because I'm not that damn confident. But you know what it was? I think I discovered this in the Eagles game, right? I discovered, and I said it during the Eagles game, that it's the fucking hat, right? I had the hat facing forwards, and I've been doing that a lot lately. So I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? The Bengals were better when I was wearing my hat backwards. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's my fault. So we're just gonna wear the hat backwards for the rest of the season. At this point, see if we can give the Bengals the good luck that they need. Right? They better not choke this away. You never say never, but I think at this point they're pretty safe. They got a 21-point lead now. I'm feeling pretty good. Come away from this game 4-5, and if you can do something cool and beat the Ravens next week, suddenly you're 5-5, and I still don't think you're really competing in the division. But you're 5-5. You got a lot of momentum. Your hardest game left is against the Ravens. I was kind of thinking maybe the Broncos, but they just got smashed by the Ravens this week. So maybe the Broncos aren't as, whatever. But, yep. Working out today. Sure is working out today. Kevin McLean says, dominate when you should dominate. I can get used to this. I sure can too, Kevin. You gotta take advantages. You gotta take advantage of the advantages you get. Because you're not going to win every game against a good team. And if you're the 2024 Bengals, you're not going to win any games against good teams. But the Bengals are playing more bad teams than good teams this year. So they can leverage that. If the Bengals can leverage that and then get themselves in the playoffs, then anything can happen in the playoffs. Like when you get to the playoffs, season starts over, and you got to go on a 4-game win streak. And a 4-game win streak is, not something that's completely impossible to imagine, At one time it was for the Bengals, but I wouldn't say anymore. These days, it's why I think the Bengals still make it to the playoffs, even though they started 3-5. Still totally on the table, and the reason for that is because the Bengals are no strangers to win streaks in the Joe Burrow era. They can win. At first they struggled getting 3 wins in a row. But ever since 2021, they've been good at win streaks. They can go on a win streak. 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the 30 after the touchback. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, he throws, and I think he just had to get rid of that a little too quickly because that's too short for Brock Bowers. It's gonna be 2nd and 10. Jermaine Pratt with the pressure on that play. I think Lou Anarumo has found the area he wants to exploit with the Raiders' defense. So, I have my feelings about Lou Anarumo, and I'm very much on the verge of being done with him completely. But I'll also give him his credit when he does good stuff. Alexander Madison takes the handoff, and no, it's not Alexander Madison. It was a great job by Mike Hilton to take him out of the knees there and only give him about a yard. So that was actually Amir Abdullah. I haven't seen him today, so that's the first time we've seen Amir Abdullah run the ball today. Bills got a big rushing touchdown there, and looks like they took the lead in that game. I would imagine they're going to win that game, but it was looking rough there for a minute. Falcons are still up on the Cowboys 21-13. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He's going to throw, and that's nowhere near Jacoby Myers. That was a very bad pass by Gardner Minshew. I mean, it wasn't in any danger. Nobody was going to pick it off, but Jacoby Myers had no shot at that. So it's going to be 4th and 8. The Raiders are going to have to punt. And I wonder I'm curious. What's the win probability now? Because we're up 31-10 and they're punting again. Bengals have a 98.6% chance to win this game at this point. All right. AJ Cole's going to come out. He's going to punt that ball away. It's going to be caught around the 10-yard line. And Trent Irwin is going to try to do something there. Can't really get anything done. And there's a flag on the play as well. Trent Irwin got his leg wrapped up pretty badly there, but I think he looks okay. Doesn't look like he's on the ground, but I don't think it's due to injury. But that was definitely a scary way that his leg got wrapped up there. But I think he's okay. I think he's okay. What's the flag? Just walking around, not sure what the flag is. Usually on the kicking team, though, so we'll see. But they threw it pretty early, though, and they are pointing at the Raiders. An eligible man downfield on the Raiders. Okay, cool. So are we going to repunt? Is that how that's going to work? Or is that going to be extra yards? So, like, instead of getting the ball at the 13, we'll get the ball at the 23. Is that how that works? According to ESPN, it's enforced at the Cincinnati 18, actually. But it's a 5-yard penalty, so we are going to get the ball at the 23. I think we're going to get the ball at 23. So that's better than the return we got. So that works out. Falcons up 21-13 on the Cowboys. Bills up 20-13 over the Dolphins. Although the Dolphins are in scoring range. So, I mean the Bills took the lead, but I mean they're not comfortable just yet. Chargers are still dominating the Browns 20-3, and the Browns just ain't getting anything done there. Patriots are tied with the Titans 10-10 in a weirdly interesting game to follow. Most recent play is Drake May getting sacked by, I didn't see who it was because it went off. Commanders up 24-10 on the Giants. Panthers are leading the Saints 17-16. So interesting thing going on there with y'all remember when Mikey was talking all that shit about how they blew out the Panthers earlier this year. Well, now I'm not even sure they're going to beat them again. We'll see. Ravens holding a 38-10 lead over the Broncos, and we're almost in the fourth quarter in that game. So, yeah, Ravens almost certainly going to win that game at this point. Which, again, I hate to say it, but I think actually works in the Bengals' favor. So, I think I said I'd take either outcome in that game, though. So, just make it... I wonder, actually... See if we can get the playoff predictor tool here from old Ray Lenhoff, because I just want to see what the current standings look like. So you got currently the number 7 seed in the NFL is the Ravens at 5-4. Insanely enough, I can't imagine it's going to stay like that. Mostly because the Steelers are somehow staying steady at 7-3. All right, we'll get back to talking about that here in a second because the Bengals got 1st and 10. Joe Burrow hands the ball off to Chase Brown, who, nice little run there, picks about 6 yards. Bursts through the middle to the right and cuts through the first level. Doesn't get completely through it, but it's enough for 6 yards. Drags a few guys with him to get that, though. Okay, yeah, so if the Ravens win that game... We're in the wrong week, aren't we? Okay, I was wrong there. The Ravens actually have the number 6 seed. I had it from a previous thing I was doing. Chase Brown takes the handoff there, and he gets that goes nowhere. He gets eaten up in the backfield there. So next play is probably going to be a passing play. So your number 7 seed is the Los Angeles Chargers, by the way. So they're currently almost certainly going to beat the Browns, so they'll be at 5-3. The Ravens are beating the Broncos, so it'll actually be the Broncos who will be competing with for that number 7 seed. So after this, the Broncos will likely have the number 7 seed. Bengals beat the Raiders. These other two games don't matter that much, but let's just say the Bills probably over the Dolphins, and then the I don't even know, the Patriots over the Titans. Why not? Because they're winning right now. Are the Bengals taking another timeout on 3rd and 5? The hell? Bengals took their second timeout. I mean, you're up 21 points, so I guess you don't really need to save the timeouts, but being a little reckless there. Colts, Vikings. The Vikings are almost certainly going to beat them, I would think, because Anthony Richardson got benched. So the Colts season's probably over. Eagles probably beat the Jaguars. Chiefs, Buccaneers, not really going to affect the Bengals at all, but I'm guessing probably the Chiefs will win that game. Although you never know if Good Baker shows up. So, yeah, that's an interesting looking landscape there. We'll talk about it in here in a sec. Joe Burrow, shotgun formation. Got Chase Brown in the backfield there with him. 3rd and 5, takes the shotgun snap. Oh, that's Travion Williams actually back there. And he throws it, and he threw it as he was getting hit, though, and he just misfired and could not get Jamar Chase, who was open. Could have been a big play there, but no dice. So the Bengals are going to punt, I think, for the first time today. I think that's their first punt all day. Jamar Chase is kind of upset because he was open, but yeah, Joe Burrow was getting hit. So that's just unfortunate. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown. So there was the one drive that was just a kneel down at the end of the half. But yeah, this is the Bengals' first punt of the day. And I've seen better punts from him. It's fine. Good punt coverage, though. So they're going to get about the 25-yard line. Is that right? I think it's about the 25-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, anyway, as far as the landscape of the AFC goes after this week, based off of what we're seeing right now and based off of projecting everything else that we're most likely going to see, you're going to have the Chiefs will obviously have control of the number 1 seed with an 8-0 record. You'll have the Bills at number 2 at 7-2. The Steelers will be the number 3 seed with a 6-2 record. They'll be a half game ahead of the Ravens. All right, Gardner Minshew has to get that pass off quickly to Brock Bowers because the Bengals brought everybody on that play, and it's going to be about a 2-yard gain. That's not Gardner Minshew actually. That's is that Aiden O'Connell? They benched Gardner Minshew. No, that's Desmond Ridder. It is Desmond Ridder, who I spoke him into existence earlier, I guess. So we got Desmond Ridder in his triumphal return to Cincinnati as the backup quarterback in a blowout. Desmond Ridder gets hit by Trey Hendrickson as he's throwing. That was a forward pass. It looks like Logan Wilson came up with that acting like it was a fumble recovery, but it was a forward pass. So great play there, though. Good play. Very good play. Yeah, so yeah, you got the Bills at 7-2. The Steelers 6-2. They're barely holding off the Ravens there by half a game. I would imagine the Ravens will eventually take over the division, though. And then the Texans are the number 4 seed at 6-3, and they look like they're they have no real competition for the division. Unless if the Colts beat the Vikings, then maybe Joe Flacco. I don't know, because the Colts will only be 1 game behind the Texans, so maybe Joe Flacco could get it done. Okay, Desmond Ridder rolls back, throws. Looking for Cam Taylor-Britt, can't get him. No, he was looking for, not Cam Taylor-Britt, obviously. He was looking for Trey Tucker. And Cam Taylor-Britt knocks that ball down. And the Raiders are calling for, like, pass interference there, I think. But, nope. No, sir. No, sir. Okay. So yeah, so those are the. Hold on, we got a punt coming up. It's 4th and 9. Bengals defense starting to really take control of this game. Looks like good to see. At least they can do it against the fucking Raiders. There is I think a false start on the punt. Interestingly enough, that's nuts. I'll finish talking about this AFC playoff picture at the commercial break. We'll talk about the NFC too. I think just to give us something to talk about because this Bengals Raiders game is pretty much over. Like we're not even in the fourth quarter yet, and I think the Bengals are I'd be shocked if the Bengals lost at this point. Knock on wood. But I mean, yeah, it's 31-10. The Raiders are punting again. Can't get any offense going. I think it'll be okay. 4th and 14. AJ Cole punts the ball away, and that is going to be a very nice punt. Damn. Down to the Bengals 16-yard line. And Trent Irwin does an okay job returning that and walks over a guy but gets tripped up as he's doing it. So he gets it down to about the 29-yard line. So, decent little thing there. Marvin Lewis, I forgot. Marvin Lewis is in his triumphal return to Cincinnati as well as a member of the Raiders coaching staff. And his defense has not been doing well against the Bengals today. Poor Marvin Lewis. Reccal got to do his job today with the score as it is. I'm fine with it. It also appears Vegas has waved the white flag with a quarterback change. Yeah, Gardner Minshew has not been doing super great. He hasn't been terrible though. So that's an odd decision to bench him unless he got hurt or something. Joe Burrow shotgun snap, hands the ball off. Chase Brown makes one man miss and bounces around a lot in the backfield. Ends up picking about 4 yards, I think, down to the 35. Yeah, Marvin Lewis over there, chummy with the Bengals. And he really was. He really might be the best coach in Bengals history. But it was time to move on, though, unfortunately. But it was time to move on. It's kind of like with Lou Anarumo. He's been a good defensive coordinator for us. Obviously, hard to talk about that when they're having such a good game today. But, the way they played against good teams, he's been a great defensive coordinator for us. But, if it's time to move on, it's time to move on. Joe Burrow massively overthrows Tanner Hudson there. What the fuck was that? Joe Burrow had nobody around him. Tanner Hudson had nobody around him. All Joe Burrow had to do was just gently toss it to the guy, and he fucking overthrew him. What the hell? That was the weirdest pass I've ever seen from Joe Burrow in my life. Probably the worst pass I've ever seen from Joe Burrow in my life. And luckily it's relatively harmless where, it's 31-10. Maybe he was experimenting because we're winning by so much at this point. Maybe he was just experimenting since it was such a safe play, All right, well, from the 35, again, 3rd and 4, takes a shotgun snap. He was looking around, throws it. He's got, there you go, Drew Sample manages to stay up and get across the line of scrimmage. And the Bengals got a first down. I was today years old learning Marvin Lewis is the Raiders' assistant head coach. Oh, that's right. He's not the defensive coordinator. Given how they've performed this game and all season, I'm disappointed for him. Yeah, I did hear that Marvin Lewis had gone to the Raiders, and I was kind of rooting for him a little bit, but it's not been a good year for the Raiders. And I think it's that Antonio Pierce connection that I think Marvin Lewis came back for, but I just don't think Antonio Pierce has got, the stuff to be a head coach right now. All right, so it's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown, who doesn't really do a whole lot there. Pushes forward a little bit, gets about 2 yards. Oh, no, is he hurt? No, he's okay. He's okay. Okay, he's okay. We don't need him hurt. We already got Zach Moss hurt. It looks like he actually is limping a little bit. He's able to run off himself. He's fine. They didn't have to stop the game for him or anything. But he's going off for this play. So hopefully he's fine though. Maybe it's cramps or something. Because they're not even really looking at him much. I think Lou Anarumo is asking him what's up. I think that was Lou Anarumo. All right, they got Travion Williams out there who lays a massive block, but it doesn't matter. That guy got through. Continued through the block anyway, and Joe Burrow takes a sack. So, Bengals offense starting to take their foot off the gas pedal, which is, I guess whatever. It was Trayvon Morig, by the way, the safety who plowed through Travion Williams, and Travion Williams did do a good job to get the block, but didn't finish the block. So that right there is where you miss Zach Moss, I think, because he's a good blocker. Joe Burrow from 3rd and 15. He's going to roll back. He's got pressure in his face again, and he gets hit after he throws the ball. Now that's definitely roughing the passer. They're not throwing the flag. That's definitely he threw the ball in the dirt and he got hit. That's definitely roughing the passer. Again, not that I'd mind that much. Like, yeah, dude, Max Crosby hit him after he threw the ball. Like, that's 100% roughing the passer. Like, that's if there's never been a not roughing the passer there. Like, that's clearly roughing the passer. Again, not that it really matters right now, but that's definitely roughing the passer. Weird. All right, so the Bengals going to punt the ball away now. Ryan Reckow with there's a good punt. Oh, nice! Wow! I think it just went. Are they saying that went out of bounds at like the 2-yard line? It looked like that actually bounced back into the end zone, but no. Damn! What a punt by Ryan Reckow! I'm going to say something crazy here. I want to see a replay of that punt. Can we see a replay of that punt? What a wild fucking thing to say, but I want to see a replay of that punt. Can we get a replay of the punt? Because like I thought it was gonna like it had a chance of like maybe going out at like the .0 whatever yard line, and then it just barely went in the end zone. But I guess it must have gone out before that. But damn, the Bengals are challenging it. The Bengals are challenging. What are they challenging? The spot? What? This is the most exciting punt I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I am fascinated. What the hell? Okay, hold on. So the ball bounces at like the 1-yard line. And I think, yes, it actually doesn't go in the end zone. So I think the Bengals have a case here. I think this is going to back the Raiders up to like the quarter of a yard line here, I think. Bengals are challenging this. The Bengals are challenging the punt in a 31-10 blowout. And this might be the most exciting punt I've ever seen in my life. This is insane. Holy shit, people. I can't imagine we're going to get like a shit ton of viewers over the greatest punt I've ever seen in my life. Or the most interesting punt I've ever seen in my life, depending on which way this goes. But, all right, so let's see. The ball, the ball was all right. Okay, I fucked up. I didn't see what happened. Okay, so the ball hits at the 1-yard line, and then it bounces diagonally, and it looks like it doesn't go through the touchback. So it's definitely not at the 2-yard line. Like that's silly that the refs put it at the 2-yard line. The question is, did this end up going through for a touchback? Call stands? Okay. Yeah, I don't even know how you really overturn that because, like, you don't really have any clear evidence there. But the Bengals just fucking challenged a punt in a 31-10 blowout. Like, that is the weirdest thing. That is the weirdest thing. All right, so I guess, they're calling that a touchback. That's what they were challenging. Okay. So, nice. Gardner Minshew throws an attempted screen there, and Mike Hilton's having none of it. Tackles him for, I think he might have gotten a loss there. Only by a few inches, but still. Foot off the pedal against a wounded, pissed off defense is a recipe for sending your quarterback to the blue tent. Yeah, I know, they should probably put Jake Browning in there, honestly. Like, I think I'd be a little surprised if Jake Browning doesn't go in the game on this next drive, honestly. As long as the Raiders don't score, but Alexander Madison once I think he may have picked up half a yard there, but it's still going to be like 3rd and 10, probably 10 and a half. There goes Zach's final timeout. He's just as bad with the red flag as Marvin was. Yeah, but like I think we're nitpicking a little bit right now, complaining about Zach and the timeouts in this game. Like, look, anything could still happen, but I don't even think the Raiders think that they have a chance to win this game at this point. Mike Gesicki was out there grittying in the end zone. That's pretty cool. All right, we finally got a commercial. Let me go ahead and talk about the playoff picture. So let's look at the NFC games real quick. We got Washington's obviously beating the pants off the Giants right now. They'll be fine. Falcons are probably going to pull it out against the Cowboys. They're up 21-10 right now. Panthers up 17-13 over the Saints. Interesting. Like for such an unimportant game, that's pretty interesting. Okay, looks like that's an old score. The Saints are actually up 22-17 right now. So, if I had to bet, the Saints are probably going to come away winning that game, but you never know. Ravens are up 41-10 on the Broncos. Man, they really, that Ravens offense. Even I have to admit at this point, like, that Ravens offense is something else. All right, so and then you got Bears Cardinals. First of all, who the fuck cares? Second of all, I'm gonna say probably the Bears. Bears. And then you got Lions Packers. I'm gonna pick the Lions on that one. And then you got Seahawks Rams. That one's tough. I think that one could really go either way. I'll give the Seahawks the home field advantage there, but we're really just speculating at this point. Either way, I just kind of wanted to finish off the schedule so we could look at a clean version of the AFC playoff race. So you're going to have Kansas City, the number 1 seed at 8-0, and they're almost certainly going to finish that way at the end of the season. Buffalo is the only chip team I think that's got a realistic shot of knocking them off that. They're at 7-2. I don't even know if they play I can't remember if they play the Chiefs or not the rest of the year. Steelers are currently 6-2 and leading the AFC North, but the Ravens are right on their heel at 6-3, and I would imagine they'll probably take over eventually. And then the Texans are at 6-3 with the final division winner spot, the number 4 seed. And then the wild card teams, you got the Ravens at 6-3, which, like I said, I think that's gonna flip. I think the Steelers are end up with the number 5 seed. And you got the Chargers, who are going to be 5-3 and in control of the 6th seed, and then the Broncos, who are going to be 5-4 in control of the 7th seed. The Bengals will be the number 9 team in the NFL at 4-5, just behind the Colts, who are also at 4-5. The Bengals play the Colts later this year too, so I'd imagine they'll probably win that game. Gardner Minshew just has nothing going on. He gets obliterated in the backfield. Trey Hendrickson finishes off the sack. But that was just good pressure overall. So that's going to be 4th down. The Raiders are going to have to punt. And I would imagine you're going to get Jake Browning now. I wouldn't keep beating up Joe Burrow like this. I really wouldn't. I'd put Jake Browning out there. See if you can get 40-something points, sure. But just see if Jake Browning can do it, you know? I would put Jake Browning out at this point. You know, just don't risk Joe Burrow's health over a game that you've basically already won. All right, punt is away. This one's a pretty good punt. It's going to be returned from the 15-yard line. Irwin sidesteps somebody. It just can't. I think he managed to get to the 20, but that's about it. He had plenty of room to run, and he just didn't do anything with that, man. Trent Irwin, I don't think, is the best punt returner. Okay, so yeah, the Colts would be the first team up for the number 7 seed at 4-5. Now this is assuming they lose to the Vikings, but I'm guessing they probably will. If they beat the Vikings, if the Colts pull off the upset and beat the Vikings, then they'll be the number 7 seed with a 5-4 record. And the Bengals would instead be behind the Broncos directly for that 5-4 record for the number 8 team in the AFC. But the Bengals will be well in the playoff hunt. I think there's no question about that. Mike Gesicki gets a pass from Joe Burrow, and he picks up about 15, 16 yards for the slant strike. But yes, the Bengals are definitely in the playoff hunt. I think that's clear. Now, they need to beat somebody good for you to feel any sort of way about that. But the Bengals are absolutely going to be in the playoff hunt with a win today. 4-5, and they will be, like I said, most likely they'll be behind the Broncos, who hold the number 7 seed at 5-4, and the Colts, who are at the number 8 seed, must have some sort of tiebreaker over the Bengals at 4-5. So they're basically right on the edge there. Joe Burrow threw a screen pass that got intercepted. Damn, that was I don't think I've ever seen that before. And that's a pick 6, by the way. That's a pick 6. God damn. Jack Jones. All right. Well, shake it off. Dude, I'm telling you, they should have put Jake Browning in there. I'm not saying Jake Browning doesn't throw that interception. That was just an amazing play by Jack Jones. But here's actually kind of the crazy thing. Like, okay, yeah, it was intended to be a screen pass to Jamar Chase, and Jack Jones just read that fucking perfectly. All right, well, the good news is the Bengals get the ball. All right. Well, I mean, you can't. Now, okay. So with that pick 6, now you probably can't put Jake Browning in there anymore. You got to keep your foot on the gas. You know, you got to go back to. You got to at least answer this with a touchdown before you can like basically start playing it safe again. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. We're up. What is it? Is that 14? Yeah, 14. We're up 14 points. We're still in control of this game. It's fine, but you can't put Jake Browning in now. You got to keep Joe Burrow in there. You got to keep your foot on the gas, and you probably at this point you're probably going to have to get to 40 before you can feel like you can put Jake Browning in there. So, but it's fine. It's fine. Shit happens. Shake it off. Come out on the next drive. Maybe don't keep running that same screenplay again because you're running a lot, and probably the reason why Jack Jones jumped the route and got the pick 6 there was because you've run it so many damn times at this point. He knows exactly what you're going to do. The Bengals throwing versus milking the clock with runs makes little sense. I prefer the Cincy grind it out with 9 clouds and a cloud of dust and take 120 plus seconds off the clock each drive. Yeah, I agree, Jay. Now you got to be you can't fully take your foot off the gas now. Like I said, you like it's a 14-point lead now, which feels a lot different than a 21-point lead. And again, I feel pretty good. The Bengals are probably gonna like put this one away, but you can't take that chance now. I think you could take that chance of putting Jake Browning in the game. If you don't give away a pick 6 like that fucking quickly, we're in the 4th quarter now, by the way. But it's just because of how quick that was. Now it's a 14-point ball game, and while you're still feeling pretty good about the game, you can't really take that chance anymore, and so you can't fully take your foot off the gas and just play clock management. But yeah, I do agree they should be running the ball more than they should be passing right now. I'm not really sure what they were thinking on that play. But then again, they're probably thinking a screen pass is one of the safest plays out there. How many times do you see opposing teams get a pick 6 on a screen pass? It almost never happens. So, that was a freak, crazy, highly unexpected play. So that sucks. That does suck, but you can bounce back from it. It'll be fine. You can bounce back from that. Like I said, you got a 14-point advantage now. You got 13 minutes left to play in the 4th quarter. If you can just hold on to the damn ball. All right, so Kendrick Pryor takes it to about the 25-yard line. And that's where the Bengals, maybe the 26. That's where the Bengals going to, yep, they're calling it the 26. So that's where the Bengals going to have it. But yeah, you can't take your foot off the gas now. Now, I mean, you can totally try to grind it out. You can totally run the ball and be relatively conservative with your play calling. But you can't just like take it easy now, right? Like I was saying, put Jake Browning into the game, but not now. No, you can't put Jake Browning in there now. Chase Brown's going to get the handoff, and he's plows his way forward. It's about 4 yards, dragging a guy with him. They might call that 3. I don't know, but I call it 4. I'll call it 4, but I'm probably wrong. Yeah, you got to keep Joe Burrow in there now. That's the thing. And if you go get a touchdown and then the defense gets a stop, maybe you could talk about putting Jake Browning in there. But as of right now, you got to keep Joe Burrow in there. They did call that 3, by the way, so it's 2nd and 7. All right, Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. He throws it short to Chase Brown, who almost makes a guy miss, doesn't quite do it. And he picks up about another 3 yards, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4. All right. If you can get a first down, then we're going to be okay. If you don't, then I'm getting a little concerned. Not as far as like I think we're going to lose the game, but in like, you know, you're not finishing the game off when you have the opportunity to finish the game off, you know? But anyway, 3rd and 4, just get the first down here and keep moving that ball, keep taking taking time off the clock. 12:02, 12:01, 12:00, 11:59, 58 for syncing purposes. Joe Burrow's in the empty formation, not anymore though, because Drew Sample's back there, although Drew Sample moves forward now, so he's still empty. Takes a shotgun snap. He's going to throw it deep, and he's got Yoshi, who went up and tried to go get it, but he got knocked out, so it's going to be 4th and 4, and Bengals are going to have to punt, and that's annoying, you know? That's just straight up annoying. The good news is the Bengals defense has been playing well, so I'm not horrendously worried about them. You know, the pick 6, the touchdown came on a pick 6, so that was the offense. Like, you know, hopefully the defense just keeps playing the way that they should be playing. That was a great dude. Jack Jones is taking over this game right now, though. That was a good pass by Joe Burrow, but Jack Jones managed to knock that ball out of Yoshi's hands. So from the 9-yard line, and oh my God, somebody tackle him! Jesus fucking Christ. Josh Newton was just way too overambitious on that. Could have had him at like the 9 or the 10 or the 11-yard line, and he just completely loses track of him. God damn. So the Raiders going to get the ball at like the 23-yard line or something, but Bengals could have had him at the 9. So not catastrophic, but annoying. Not catastrophic, but very annoying. Oh, I'm sorry. They're going to have the ball at the 33. I said the 23. So, yeah, that's not a good... You know, it was a good punt by Ryan Ricow and then just terrible coverage. Absolutely awful coverage there by the Bengals. All right, come on defense. Don't let the momentum just like you got the Raiders now after that crazy ass series of events. Joe Burrow throws the pick 6, and then they can't really get anything going on offense on the next couple of plays, and then the absolutely horrendous punt coverage. Now suddenly you're on the precipice of the Raiders gaining momentum. So you've got a 14-point cushion. So, like, it's still fine, mostly, but now it's mostly fine instead of just fine. Now it's mostly fine, because there's a little bit of that thing in the back of your head where you're like, don't do this to me, Bengals. And it should be fine, but it should be fine. And I've seen the Bengals fuck this up way too much. The defense has been good today, though, so, I mean, hopefully they can just get the job done. It'll be okay. That's the hope, you know. Hope is that they just get the job done. The Bengals game is the only game that's taking this long, by the way. Every other game is, like, under 5 minutes left to go. Falcons leading the Cowboys 27-13. Dolphins trailing the Bills 27-20. Chargers beating the Browns 20-3. The Browns are in scoring range, but probably just for like a field goal. I guess they didn't get a field goal earlier. Weird. I think they with 20-3 though, like you got to think like with 6 minutes left to go in that game, you got to think that there's a chance you could win. So you're probably not taking the field goal there. Gardner Minshew takes a shotgun snap. He's going to throw it short. And good wrap-up job there by Jordan Battle. He got about 2 or 3 yards there, but, not letting them get a big playoff. That's good. Titans up 17-10 on the Patriots. Commanders up 27-22 on the Giants. Interesting. The Giants kind of made a little bit of a comeback there, but the Commanders, with 1:56 left to go, and they're in field goal range, they'll probably be okay. Saints up 22-17 on the Panthers as Gardner Minshew throws across the middle, and that might be enough for a first down to number 82. That's going to be close. Where are they going to spot it? Gardner Minshew saying it's a first down, but, Okay, so the refs are saying it's a first down as well. Okay, come on, defense. Come on! All right, Minshew takes a shotgun snap, rolls back. He throws. It's caught. That's a quick release. Number 11, Tucker, picks up 5 yards. I swear to God, I hate this fucking defense, dude. I hate this fucking defense. Because now that they've suddenly got a job to do, they're gonna fucking fall apart. Because they want to play soft-ass fucking coverage, dude. All right, it's going to be a handoff to Zaire Jones. Is that the guy's name? I don't think he quite got the first down there, but he picked up most of the yards, so it's going to be like 3rd and inches. Oh, I'm sorry, Amir Abdullah. I keep forgetting about Amir Abdullah. Because we didn't see him until like the 3rd quarter, right? All right, well, anyway, Desmond Ritter's going to hand the ball off, and I think the Bengals stopped him there. I think they stopped him. They missed the first tackle, although the refs are giving the Raiders a favorable spot there, so I think they're going to call that a first down. I thought the Bengals stopped him, but maybe not. Maybe not. What I'd say is sit his ass down for his own good. Who, Burrow? Maybe. Can we, for once, comfortably close out a game without unnecessary drama? One time! Yeah, that'd be nice, Kevin. That'd be nice. Jordan Battle gets a ton of pressure on Desmond Ridder there, but Desmond Ridder coolly isn't paying any attention to it and throws it to Brock Bowers for a 5-yard pickup. Like, are we forcing the Raiders to take time off the clock? Is that what we're doing as a defense? Because right now it looks like we're just letting them do whatever they want. I guess you're thinking the Raiders probably aren't going to settle for a field goal, right? So maybe you can stop them. You have the whole field to work with, I guess, but come on. All right, so that's going to be an incomplete pass. I think Cam Taylor-Britt thought that could have been a fumble, but it wasn't. It was just an incomplete pass from Desmond Ridder. I think it was intended to be a screen, but it bounces off of his hands and goes to the ground, and Cam Taylor-Britt scoops it up, but it was a forward pass and an incomplete pass. But it's also the right decision to try to go pick it up too. All right, 3rd and 4. Defense can get the job done here, man. This is a really good opportunity to just shut the Raiders down right now. Desmond Ridder takes a shotgun snap. He throws, and they do not do it. They let him get the fucking first down. Jacoby Myers. Dude, our fucking secondary sucks. Our secondary is just absolute garbage. Cam Taylor-Britt, dude, and he can't even fucking tackle him once he does get there. If it hadn't been for Logan Wilson, Jacoby Myers could have gotten loose and maybe even scored on that play. All right, Desmond Ridder is going to fall and end up, Bengals going to get a sack out of that, so that works out. I think Chris Jenkins is going to be the one who's going to be credited with that. And they did a good job of getting pressure there. I think they might have blocked somebody into Desmond Ridder. Let's see, Chris Jenkins. Ridder just falls. 2nd and 14, Ridder takes a shotgun snap, and he throws as he's being hit, but number 8, I think Amir Abdullah, just nobody around him, so he still picks up 11 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down. Another opportunity. Come on, defense. Can you just not suck for once, please, for the love of God? I hate being this fucking cynical about the Bengals, but it's just prove me wrong. 3rd and 4. Come on, defense. Fucking do something for once in your goddamn lives. Ridder takes a shotgun snap. Trey Hendrickson, there you go, gets the sack. Just absolutely obliterates his guy and eats Desmond Ridder alive for breakfast. And that's the one guy you can count on is Trey Hendrickson. One guy you can count on. 4th and 12 now. And the Raiders got to go for it, right? Like, you're not going to settle for a field goal being down 14 points, like nearly halfway through the fourth quarter, right? Like, you're not going to go for a field goal. Or do they? Do they go for a field goal and make my life a lot easier? That'd be pretty cool. Nope, they're going to go for it on 4th and 12. And I honestly don't have a lot of confidence here. Desmond Ridder, although he is getting hit pretty badly, and he misfires on the pass because of the pressure, and Jacoby Myers is not able to come up with it. And that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the defense does get the job done. 6:36 left to go in this ball game, and I think that kills the Raiders' momentum. They had some momentum there for a minute. It kind of felt like it was going to be another one of those situations where it's like Joe Burrow can't make one fucking mistake. But luckily, they've had a good enough game overall that they being up 31-10, the one mistake they can just shake it off, and all the defense basically has the whole field to work with and plenty of opportunities to stop them. So Chase Brown's going to take the handoff, and he's going to get it down to about the 41-yard line after about a 6-yard carry, maybe a 5-yard carry, really. 2nd down, and the Raiders are taking their first timeout already. So the pressure's on, because that's the thing. If the Raiders can't stop the Bengals at this point, then with 6 minutes left to go, the Bengals are just going to just eat all of the clock. So, yeah, they've got to pretty much already start taking their timeouts. You got the 6-1 Lions going up against the 6-2 Packers. Now, I will say, I said the Lions are going to win earlier, but I will say without Aiden Hutchinson, it might be a tough game for them. So we'll see if maybe the Packers have overcome a lot of adversity this year, and they're getting the job done. So maybe the Packers could very well win that game. From the 41, Chase Brown takes the handoff, and he gets about maybe 3 yards on the run. So I'm going to call that 2 yards. That's probably more like 2 yards. No, they're saying 3. Okay, so it's going to be 3rd and 2. Works out for me. That's perfectly fine with me. Any of these games have any... so the Saints and Panthers game is interesting. The Saints are holding on to a 22-17 lead with 3:48 left in that game. And they have the ball. But it's also 3rd and 13, so if the Panthers can stop them here, then they still got a chance. Titans up 17-10 over the Patriots in a who gives a shit type of game. Chargers are up 27-3 over the Browns with 3:05 left to go in that game, so that game's over. I guess the Browns once again did not get a field goal. All right, 3rd and 2 from the 44-yard line. Bengals own 44-yard line. Joe Burrow takes the empty shotgun snap. He's going to throw it up deep for Jamar Chase, who tried to bring that in with one hand, couldn't do it. So it's 4th and 2. The Bengals are going to punt the ball back to the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders only have one timeout left, for what it's worth. So, there's plenty of time left on the clock, but it would take a complete reversal of fortunes. The defense would have to completely collapse, which I don't have a lot of faith that they won't, but some faith maybe. All right, so there's a flag on the play on the 4th and 2, and the Bengals players are excited, so I think that's going to be on the Raiders, looking like the Bengals are going to get a free first down from that, whatever it is. Neutral zone infraction on the Raiders. All right, and the Bengals get a free first down. Yep. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, they way jumped that. I think they were trying to make something crazy happen. Couldn't quite do it. John says Kitty goes meow. Well, they gave me a little bit of a heart murmur there for a minute, but yeah, Kitty's going meow for the most part today. All right, 1st and 10. Joe Burrow's in the shotgun formation. I don't at this point put Jake Browning in, man. Whatever. Chase Brown gets the handoff, picks up about 2 yards. He was getting bullied in the backfield though, so the fact that he got 2 yards out of that's pretty impressive. Terrible run blocking on that play. What's his stats looking like at this point? At this point, his yards per carry have gone down to 4.7, but that's still pretty good. Joe Burrow is 201 for 4 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day. 25 for 36, so generally has generally had a pretty damn good day, except for obviously the pick 6. Chase Brown takes the handoff and he picks up about 2 yards on 2nd and 8, so now it's going to be 3rd and 6. And the Raiders are taking their final timeout with 5:45 left to go in the ball game. So I would say if you can get a first down here, then that's pretty much all she wrote. Obviously, there's still you still got to like milk the clock and everything, but the Raiders have, I think, the slimmest of slim like miracle type of hopes right now. But outside of that, it's there's not much. But if the Bengals get a first down on this 3rd and 6 here, it's over. ESPN's got the Bengals as a 99.9% chance to win this ball game. So it's basically over. But again, it's the Bengals. Gonna be careful. Not gonna get too cocky. Joe Burrow's in the shotgun formation. 3rd and 6. I think throwing the ball is the correct move here. So he is going to throw the ball. He's got a wide open Mike Gesicki down to the 15, the 10, and he gets into the end zone. Nobody was even covering him. What the hell went on there? That was just a busted-ass play. All right, Mike Gesicki gets in the end zone, and the Bengals take a 37-17 lead. It'll probably be 38-17 after this is over. Hell yeah. And I'm guessing that's probably going to be the final score for the Bengals of the night, because the Raiders are going to do their thing, and the Bengals will probably just run the ball and try to run the clock out. I can't imagine they'll take a field goal just for the sake of getting 40 points. So we're probably this extra point from Evan McPherson is probably going to be the last scoring the Bengals do today. Dude, Mike Gesicki's had a hell of a game today. Kick is up, and that's good. All right, and the Bengals score 38 on the Raiders. And like I said, most likely that's all they're scoring today. Barring, obviously, like a turnover or something crazy. Like if the Bengals defense gets a turnover, like on the Raiders side of the field, and the Bengals go like 3 and out or something, they might just kick a field goal at that point. But barring that, most likely the Bengals are going to get the ball back with like 2-something minutes left to play, regardless of anything else that happens, because the Raiders have no timeouts left. So most likely what's going to happen is the Bengals are going to get the ball with like 2 to 3 minutes left to go in the ball game, and the Raiders have no timeouts left. The Bengals will just basically just get rid of the rest of the clock from there. So barring an absolutely insane turnover, that's probably the Bengals' last points of the day. Pretty solid day from the Bengals offense. Almost hit 40. Didn't quite do it. And, I mean, technically they still could. But I'd say it'd be pretty unlikely. I'd be pretty surprised if they managed to get more points on the board at this point. Because they're just going to eat the rest of the clock as much as they possibly can. Bengals with a 99.9% chance to win. Kick is away. That's going to be a touchback. Oh, it's nice to have games like this after you come out and get embarrassed. Especially because this is a home game, right? Dude, Joe Burrow was pissed after that fucking pick 6. He was pissed after that pick 6. I would be too. But again, the Bengals have built such a cushion at that point that you can afford to make even what normally would be a catastrophic mistake like that. In that situation, it's like, yeah, it's annoying, but it is what it is. Desmond Ridder takes the shotgun snap, 5:35 left to go, and that's going to be a fumble! And the Raiders fall on top of it. No, they don't! Oh! Logan Wilson picks up the fumble! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! We might get 40 points today, y'all! Let's go! Well, Desmond Ridder, so Trey Hendrickson got the sack on Desmond Ridder and forced the fumble in the process, and a Raiders player fell on top of the fumble but didn't secure it, and Logan Wilson comes up with the fumble recovery. Let's go! Let's go. And now the Bengals have like 10 yards to go to the end zone. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the clock out. So we're probably going to go over 40 today, y'all. What a play by Trey Hendrickson to knock that ball out, too. Oh, man. Number 77 there of the Raiders falls on top of that ball and can't come up with it. And Sam Hubbard's the one who comes up with it at the end of the day. That was Thayer Munford Jr. who did not wrap that ball up. Chase Brown is going to get the handoff there, and he picks up about 7 or 8 yards on that play. So, yeah, the Bengals had the ball at like the 14, 15 roughly. About the 13-yard line, I think, is where they had it. Where the fumble recovery was at. Let's see. Yeah, it's the 13-yard line. 13-yard line is where the Bengals got that recovery from. And now they have the ball at the 7-yard line, 2nd and 4, and I don't think they can milk the rest of this clock out, so they're going to probably score. Joe Burrow hands the ball off Chase Brown. He gets up the middle, only picks up about 3 yards, maybe 2.5. So it's going to be 3rd down and a long one, but one nonetheless. Yep, that is a fumble. Bengals defense, was pissing me off at one point today, but they got the job done, and now ultimately that's what matters. Trey Hendrickson, game ball, in my opinion, and the offense has been good. Don't get me wrong, the offense has put up 38 points, and they're probably going to put up another. They're probably going to end up putting like 40. I'm guessing 41, unless they get in the end zone here. 3rd and 1, Joe Burrow is going to throw it to Tanner Hudson, who pulls some guys. I don't think he quite got in the end zone, but he gets down to like the 1-yard line. So the Bengals are throwing the ball. And that's interesting. That's an interesting call right there. So the Bengals have a 1st down now. 3:47, 46, 45 left to go. So, they don't have they don't have enough downs left to run the clock out. So they're going to have to they're probably going to get a touchdown, most likely. They're probably going to get a touchdown. But you could also see Joe Burrow potentially kneel it 3 times, and then they kick the field goal. That could also happen. So I said unlikely the Bengals would end up getting more points. I was wrong. I said the only thing that could happen is maybe they get a turnover, and they're just in such unbelievable position that they have to. And that's what happened. I called it. Chase Brown takes the handoff. He cannot get past the first wave of defenders, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. No gain on the play. Maybe even a half-yard loss. Not even a half yard, like an inch or 2 loss, maybe. So the Bengals are going to win? Yes. I think at this point. You got you're almost at the 2-minute warning. So, yeah, probably. Bengals have a chance of making it through the playoffs. They do. It's there. It's not a good chance to make the playoffs, but a realistic chance to make the playoffs. They're going to be 4-5, and they're going to be right there in the playoff hunt for that number 7 seed. And if they can really turn the season around, they might be fighting for the 5th or 6th seed. I think actually if they're fighting for the 5th seed, they might even be fighting for the division at that point. Did the Bengals get a delay of game? That's weird. All right, the Bengals get the delay of game, so they're going to be at the 6-yard line now instead of the 1. I think Burrow wants a touchdown because he's not happy about it. 2:25 left to go in this game. 2:25 left to go in this game, y'all. Joe Burrow's, I don't think, going to get over 300 yards today, but 5 touchdowns, so that's something. Joe Burrow's going to hand the ball off to Chase Brown, and he is not able to get past the first wave of defenders, but he picks up about half the distance. So it's going to be 3rd and goal, and this is probably going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So I'd imagine the Bengals are probably going to knock this clock down to probably about like 1:30-ish, unless they get the touchdown. But probably going to knock this clock down to about 1:30-ish, and then they're going to kick a field goal. And it'll probably this game will finish 41-17, I'm guessing. But yeah, Connor, the Bengals do have a chance to make the playoffs. It's going to be it's still not They're not going to have the inside track by any means, but there's still a chance. Yes. They'll be 4-5. They'll be they're tied with the Colts, who currently have the number 8 position. They'll be behind the Broncos, who have the number 7 seed at 5-4. So they'll be one game behind the Broncos, and they also play the Broncos. So, I mean, like, you know, the whole season's still on the table. You know, you finish this win off against the Raiders, put up 38 points. Defense has a decent day, and now you're thinking maybe they can get the job done next week against the Ravens. You know, it's going to be a tough ask, but they came close last time. There's no reason to say they can't do it. Bass made a 61-yarder for the Bills. Nice. Dude, my throat is like just congested as fuck right now. Looks like the Patriots and the Titans are going to overtime. What an unfortunate situation. Dude, the Panthers took the lead over the Saints, 23-22. Derek Carr's in the game. He's trying to put the Saints in field goal range. But they got the ball at the 40 right now. So the Panthers, if the Panthers can stop the Saints, then they win that game. It's going to come down to this final drive, I think. I don't know what the timeout situation looks like. I mean, maybe if the Saints get a quick field goal, and the Panthers can stop them from running out the clock, then maybe they can go down and get a field goal of their own. I don't know. That would be interesting, though, if the Panthers pulled that game off. With Bryce Young back in the fold. Bryce Young back as the starter. That would be interesting if they could pull that game off. And again, it's against the Saints, and, you know, no offense to, like, Mikey or whatever, but, you know, it's not like the Saints are a great team. The Saints have 3rd and 16 from the 34-yard line. Derek Carr got sacked for 6 yards. So the Panthers might pull this off. If they can stop them from picking up a first down here, you know, looks like Derek Carr got a 12-yard pass to Alvin Kamara, so it's going to be 4th and 4, and the game will come down to this play most likely. But let's switch back to the Bengals game. So the Bengals got 3rd and goal here. And I imagine it's going to... Nope, Joe Burrow's going to throw. And he's got Jamar Chase, who gets the ball knocked out of his hands. Nothing there. Nothing there. So 1:57 left to go in the game. The Bengals are probably going to kick the field goal here. And by probably, I mean they're definitely going to kick the field goal here. I can't imagine any scenario where they would not kick the field goal here. Unless they're just playing around. They're just fucking dicking around with the Raiders. Which doesn't feel like a very Bengals thing to do. So, Evan McPherson is coming out for the... What's this, like a 20-yard field goal? Not 22-yard field goal attempt. Okay. So, there's a flag on the play. On the Bengals. Delay of game. The fuck? What are you out there delay of gaming for? It's not like you even were running out the clock or anything. What the hell? All right, so it's going to be a 27-yard field goal attempt now. Still, like, easy, fucking easy. So, barring, like, a, you know, mishandled, like a mishandled hold or something like that, should be fine. All right, extra point is, or I'm sorry, field goal is up, and that's good. All right, so the Bengals take a 41-17 lead. First time all year the Bengals have gone over 40 points. And if y'all remember, a couple years ago, I think the Bengals beat the Cardinals. It was like 41-17, and that was like the turnaround on the season. Was that? I think it was 22, right? In 22, they were struggling earlier in the year, and then they beat the they just beat the piss out of the Cardinals, like 41-17. And then they ended up in the AFC Championship game. Now, I'm not saying the Bengals are going to do that this year. They got to beat a good team before I feel like there's any shot of that, but let's see. No, maybe, was it last year they did that then? Because it wasn't 22. No, it wasn't last year either. What the hell? Was that 21 when they did that? It was 21, and they did it against the Ravens in Week 7. So the situation was a little bit different at that time, actually. So never mind. But they did have a 41-17 game at one point. But they were 4-2 going into that game, and then they were 5-2 after that. So not exactly what I was thinking. There's a touchback on the kickoff, by the way. But like, are you worried at this? I'm not worried at this point. It's 41-17, with like we're past the 2-minute warning. It'll be fine. So what was I thinking of then? 2-3 going into the Saints game. No, because we only won that game 30-26. Ritter's gonna throw. That's gonna be nowhere near number 82 there. So that's gonna be 2nd down and 10. Oh, I think I'm thinking of when we beat the Panthers 42-21. And we were 4-4 going into that game. We had a rough season before that. We lost our first 2 games, and then we lost to the Ravens, and then we lost to the Browns, and we were just getting crushed in the division. And then we came out and we beat the Panthers 42-21, and then we won every single game the rest of that year. And I think we ended up winning the division too. So, I'm not saying... Now, the defense was playing better that year, to be fair. All right. Ritter throws to Jacoby Myers. That's a 1st down. About a 15-yard throw. But obviously the Raiders have, no timeouts left, so it's not really a big problem. It'd be nice if the defense could not let them get points. 41-17 looks better than 41-24, right? But I guess it doesn't really matter. Mikey's did y'all really actually lose to the Panthers? I was thinking that might happen, but I guess it actually did. Did Miles Murphy get a fumble there? No, he didn't. Okay, all right. So that was about a maybe a 1-yard gain by Amir Abdullah there, but it was within bounds. So that clock's moving. Desmond Ridder takes a snap. Rolls back, throws way too high for Josh Newton. They're going to call pass interference. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that was that wasn't catchable. That's not pass interference. That's BS. That's BS. That wasn't catchable. Maybe call holding. I'd have to go back and watch the play, but maybe you call holding. But you can't be pass interference if the pass isn't catchable, right? And not that it matters, it's fine. But I don't think that should count as pass interference, personally. Sorry you lost to the Panthers, though, Mikey. I think we're about to beat the Raiders here, though. Well, I know we are. It's 55 seconds left. We're at 41-17. Desmond Ridder gets out of pressure, and he's going to run out to his left and pick up about 3 yards. Gets out of bounds, though. Stops the clock. So, yeah, we beat the Panthers 42-21. And we didn't lose a single game the rest of the season until we met the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And Joseph Osai hit Patrick Mahomes out of bounds, and then we lost that game. But, yeah, we were having a rough year before that in 22. So it does kind of remind me of 22. Desmond Ridder gets out of pressure there. Joseph Osai was getting some good pressure, but he ends up throwing it up for Brock Bowers, who gets the touchdown. Darn it, dang it, defense! Arrgh! I should be mad, right? I don't know. Whatever. At this point, I don't think the defense even really cares all that much. They don't really give that much of a shit about the final score. Their thought process right now is try to prevent the big play. Which, that was a big play, to be fair. So, that's not really what you want to do. But, it's fine, I think. 41-23. And most likely 24 after this extra point. Yep, 24. 41-24. Are we going to see Jake Browning now? We've got to see Jake Browning now. 41 seconds left to go. So are the Raiders going to onside kick, actually? 41 seconds left to go. You're down, what's that, 17 points? down 17 points, like you're almost like you don't really have much of a chance. I don't even want to say much of a chance. You barely have a chance at this point. Do you go for the onside kick, or do you just like accept the loss and just like not get players injured? Because like if you keep playing aggressively, then you're risking guys getting injured for a game that's a lost cause. So that's the question. But then again, maybe for the sake of morale, maybe you fight till the end. Go for the onside kick. We all had a good day, and also Houday. Yes, Houday, Connor. Pretty damn good day. Yes, there was a couple of things here and there with the defense that kind of made me mad, but so they're just gonna squib this one. So Kendrick Pryor is gonna get it down to about the 22-yard line, and then I'm guessing this next play is gonna be a kneel down in the end of the game. So, almost certainly this game is gonna finish 41-24. That's a really nice way to wash off that stinky Eagles loss. So now you're 4-5, and the playoffs are still at your disposal. It's hold on. Jake Browning. So I was right. They did put Jake Browning in. Jake Browning takes the kneel down, and the Raiders cannot stop the clock. And there's and so 30, 29, 28, 27. The Bengals get the win. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights says, "Yo, let's go." Bengals get the win over the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's a perfect bounce back game. Nice to see. You didn't let the Eagles game break your spirits. I like that. So you got an uphill battle to get to the playoffs at this point, but you're only one game out. To be fair, you're one game out from the Broncos. Now that doesn't mean that you're only competing with the Broncos, right? The rest of the AFC playoff picture, you got the Broncos. Obviously the Chargers and Ravens and Steelers. They all have their own stuff. You're not competing with them immediately because they all have better playoff seedings, which you're not shooting for. But teams in the playoff hunt right now that you're probably competing with are the Colts. Who just benched Anthony Richardson, so maybe we'll see what happens there. I don't know. But you've got the Colts. You've got the Ravens and Steelers who, are a little bit loftier ambitions there. But, the Colts and maybe the Jets. The Broncos. The playoff, the AFC playoff hunt right now is you've got the number 5 seed Baltimore Ravens, and then obviously the Steelers, who are leading the AFC North, but there's only a half game ahead of the Ravens. And if the Ravens beat them, that's only because they haven't had their bye week. If the Ravens beat them at some point, then they take that advantage. So you've got the Steelers. You're potentially kind of maybe competing with. You're only 2 games behind them, really 2.5. The Ravens, you're only 2 games behind them. If you can beat them next week, then maybe, probably not, because it doesn't seem like they're going to falter too much, but maybe. Texans at 6-3 are almost certainly going to win their division, but you got the Colts at 4-5. If Joe Flacco can kind of revive their season, then that's something to think about. They're currently like the Bengals on the outside looking in, but they're right there. They're at number 8 out of with 7 seeds. And then you got the Chargers, who have the 6th seed at 5-3, and the Broncos, who have the 7th seed at 5-4. Now the Bengals do play the Chargers coming up. So you can actually, let's see, if the Bengals lose to the Ravens next week, then they're 4-6. But let's say Chargers probably beat the Titans. But then the Bengals come back and they beat the Chargers. Then they'll be back to 1 game behind the Chargers. They'll be 5-6, and the Chargers will be 6-4, right? They'll be, I guess, a game and a half behind the Chargers, but the Chargers have to have their bye week eventually, and that'll kind of even things out. So, just beat the fucking Ravens on Thursday. Please beat the fucking Ravens on Thursday. If you don't, you're if you don't beat the Ravens, the hope of winning the division, the slimmest of hopes that exist of winning the division is over if you lose to the Ravens. But you know, you can still be competing for the wild card. You know, be nice if you beat them. But I mean, like here, okay. So here's the thing: if the Bengals just beat the Raiders, right? And if they beat the Ravens, if they get the upset win over the Ravens, and then they beat the Chargers, who they're going to be competing with for a playoff spot for, then suddenly the Bengals are 6-5 and almost certainly in control of a playoff spot. They might be the number 6 seed at that point. So you got the let's see, the Broncos lost to the Ravens. Chargers did beat the Browns though, and then you had the other games I don't think we care too much about. Oh well, the Colts and the Vikings. So I'm just gonna guess the Colts will lose to the Vikings. And then next week the Chiefs will probably beat the Broncos. The Bills will probably beat the Colts. And then the Chargers will probably beat the Titans. Let's say is that it? Yeah, I think that's it for teams that really you're thinking about here. So that if the Bengals if the Bengals beat the Ravens, then they can take control of the number 7 seed next week. They most likely will, unless you know something crazy like the Broncos beating the Chiefs happens, or the Colts beating the Bills. Even then, actually, the Bengals still maintain control of the 7 seed because the Colts would be at 5-5. Yeah. So you're actually not even really thinking about that Colts game there. And then if the Chargers lose to the Titans, then you maybe have the number 6 seed. But most likely, if you beat the Ravens next week, you'll be in control of the 7 seed. And then it's just about maintaining the 7 seed for the rest of the year, which could be tough, but you know, I mean, you could do it. You know, I mean, you could do it. You could do it. But you know, it is. We're gonna have to follow this, obviously. I'll have something out this week at some point. If at the very least, I'll do predictions. Like I said, I was gonna do last week. I know it didn't happen, but we'll do that. We'll do like a Q&A session and stuff. I'm gonna tentatively say Wednesday, but I said Wednesday last week, and then I forgot I had to go shoot a movie, so that unfortunately didn't happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Last comment here from Jeff. So far, we beat every team we should have, except for New England, and lost every team that's better than us. Yeah. Only bad game so far, I would say, has been the Eagles game. Because, like, that Patriots game, we should have won if Tanner Hudson hadn't fumbled the ball. And then a lot of those other games, there were, you know, the Bengals were like a play or two away from winning. So the only really particularly bad game overall I'd say the Bengals have had was last week against the Eagles. And that's why it felt so deflating last week. Because they came out, they got embarrassed at home. And it felt like at 3-5, you're starting to, like, really not have much of a shot at the playoffs. And then you're thinking like, oh, geez, next week against the Raiders, are we going to show up and do fucking anything? Well, the answer is yes. We did show up, and we beat the pants off of the Raiders. We beat them 41-24. And, you know, for all the frustration that I vented about the Bengals this year, they're still a competitive team, and the playoffs are very much they're very much part of the playoff discussion right now. I mean, it's an uphill battle for sure. At 4-5, it's an uphill battle to go make the playoffs, but it can be done. And especially with the Bengals' schedule, like I said, I mean, if they can pull off that upset against the Ravens, that's huge. And then after that, it's the Chargers who you're going to be competing with for a playoff spot. And then you got a bye week after that. And then it's the Steelers, which who fucking knows what you're going to see with them. And then you've got the Cowboys, which you should beat. And then you've got the Titans, which you should beat. And then you got the Browns, which you should beat. And then you've got the Broncos, which you'll be competing with for a spot. And then, you know, and then you finish out the season against the Steelers. So, I mean, yeah, there's some tough games in there. You know, who really knows who the Steelers are right now with Russell Wilson instead of Justin Fields? But we'll have to see what happens with that one. And then obviously the Ravens is going to be tough, and then Chargers and Broncos. Those teams are about on your level. Now I will say we haven't really seen the Bengals play a team this year that is you could say is like on the same level as the Bengals. Like we've either played teams that are like clearly were much more prepared for the season than us, or teams that were clearly better than. One of those games we lost against the Patriots, but there was that. I guess maybe you could argue the Commanders was a game that we were playing against a team that was probably about on our level, and we, like I said, a play or two different in that game, and we probably come away with a win. And then right now we're looking at 5-4 instead of 4-5. So, and all of this just feels so much better. Like any one of these damn games, the defense gets one fucking stop against the Ravens, and then. Or Joe Burrow doesn't throw that pick, right? And then, like I said, you're 5-4 and you're feeling a lot better about things. You're even thinking about the division. Right now, I'm not thinking about the division because we're 4-5, and that's better than 3-6 for sure. But it's still not where you want to be. The Chiefs game, we lost that game by 1 fucking point, y'all. They're the best team in the NFL right now. Record-wise, I mean, whether they actually are or not, who knows, but they've won all their games. The Eagles are the only team that just really completely, obliterated us. We weren't ever really that competitive in that game. There was, in the first half, it was looking okay for the Bengals. I think we had a 10-3 lead at one point, but you didn't feel safe with the 10-3 lead. You just felt like, hey, if we come out in the second half and we have a good second half, we'll be fine. Well, it turns out we had an abysmal second half and we lost 37-17. But, going into the half, we were feeling okay. Going into the half, we were feeling okay. It was 10-10 at the half, to be fair, because the Eagles got that last second touchdown. But up until that point, the Bengals were feeling pretty good about their chances, and the defense was playing well, and then they just completely collapsed in the second half. But yeah, that Eagles game was probably the only game we've seen with a team that's about on the level of the Bengals, which sounds weird to say when they're 5-2 and we're 4-5. And heading into this game, we were 3-5, but. Yeah, that was probably the only game you've seen where they're really on the same level as the Bengals. So I do kind of worry about that Broncos game and that Chargers game, but not to the point where I don't think it could happen, So John sends a tiger emoji. Stranger says, "Hoo day." Let's go, Stranger. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I got to finish up some homework, hopefully in time, so I can go pick up my son without any delays. So anyway, Bengals get the win. 41-24. That's a great way to make a statement, So I appreciate y'all showing up. I'll leave y'all as always with a hoo day.